Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, July 20th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. Coming up on OTB, we talk to Roman Harper of the SEC Network at 8 a.m. And at 8:30, Coach David Cutcliffe joins the show. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the SEC Media Days in Nashville, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in. Day 4 of SEC Media Day. Sounds kind of crazy. Here we are at the end. It's been an excellent time in Nashville. Very excited to kick off day 4. Also very excited to get home to my family. This hotel living was fun, but we're here at the end of it. If you think we sound, or I sound chipper and better than yesterday, it's because in an unprecedented move, we did not go out last night. This is the first night ever, I believe, at any Senior Bowl or Media Day work event that not even dinner, stayed in, room service, movies. It was excellent.
It was great, wasn't
it? I feel great.
What movie did we go
Didn't
with?
even have any FOMO. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Okay.
And it was very all right.
Is that the first time you had seen it?
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't about to rewatch that, dude. I don't know what a Marvel movie would have to do to get me to rewatch it. Like, maybe that live-action Spider-Man, the most recent one with Tobey and all them, I could rewatch sometimes. I legitimately did love that. But unfortunately, I came out the other side of it, and, you know, I really like that trilogy. I really like James Gunn, obviously. But I kind of came out the other side of it, and I felt about as meh about Marvel. I mean, because I've been feeling that way about the MCU for a minute now, and that didn't do much. I like that it, like, wrapped up a lot of, well, it seemed to, but then it says Star-Lord will return or whatever at the end. But it seemed to wrap up a lot of the characters in nice spots. But
I hadn't finished it yet. I got like 25 minutes left.
Bro, I fell asleep like 5 times during it. And I kept waking up and rewinding and, like, waking up and rewinding.
It's a great movie, though. Definitely watch it.
No, I want to be clear. I just said all right. The one thing that it does have that I do love is it definitely has James Gunn's absurdity. Like, he leans into the wild nature of comic books and how weird it can get, and that really works in like a sci-fi setting where you can have, like, you know, talking Russian cosmonaut dogs that are normal next to, like, this alien, that alien. But so it was all right. But the overall point is it felt actually incredibly good to just kind of kick it and just sleep and you know, not be a complete degenerate. And so we're feeling good today is the point. Much better than yesterday. And today on day 4, we got our final 3 teams coming down the aisle. You got Ole Miss, South Carolina, and the home team in many ways. I know. We're technically in Nashville, Vanderbilt, bro. You know, come on now, though.
Whoa.
You know that is the truth. Tennessee on the docket for today. A bit of hot news for Tennessee.
Lex Luthor.
As yesterday, 5-star Mike Matthews. Actually, no, look, I like Clark Lee a lot. We talked about Clark Lee, but Tennessee, Josh Heupel coming in today, so you can kind of see the orange starting to crop up already. A bit of random, but pretty big news for Vols fans going into this. That yesterday they got their one of their highest rated recruits ever to commit to the program. A 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews, ranked number 5 overall by ESPN. So Heupel doing some work there on the recruiting trail. Jake, out of the 3 teams, what are you looking forward to most today?
Probably Joe Milton being the quarterback because there's not a lot of quarterbacks here. Spencer Rattler being a quarterback.
Yep.
Just because we haven't really, sitting down at Mississippi State actually bringing their quarterback, Will Rogers, it was a very interesting conversation because you can kind of get deep into the weeds and you can talk X's and O's and expectations. And then there's questions for both those quarterbacks like Joe Milton. Yeah, you can throw it literally farther than anybody since Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? How is that going to translate? How did you not get your job back from Hendon Hooker? All those things. What's different now than in years past where you've been at Michigan, you lost your job, when you've been at Tennessee and lost your job? Because you've got some real juice and hype coming into this season. So, I want to ask him that. And then Spencer Rattler, man, y'all were just the best offense in the country for 2 weeks, okay? Yeah. And then your offensive coordinator leaves right after that. Now you get Dow Loggins in from Arkansas. How different is that going to be? Because Spencer Rattler, as you know, has had a very interesting college football journey. He was somebody that was told he was going to be the number 1 overall pick 2 years ago, and he's still playing college football. So for me, the quarterbacks, and I hope Flynn's not listening, they probably drive everything today.
No, they absolutely do. They're the only ones that you actually know what they look like. If you're being honest with yourself.
Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss, you know what he looks like.
No, he's Starber. Well, I don't. You do. but no, he is. He's probably the best running back in the country.
He's top 3 no matter who you talk to.
He would definitely be the other kind of major star power guy today.
Got a punter today.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
got a punter.
But and if you're a college football fan, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Just think. Which team would bring a punter?
That's fair.
Out of South Carolina,
That's
Tennessee, and Ole Miss, we will narrow down who would bring a punter. Could it possibly be the guy with the last name of Beamer? Because it feels as fitting as anything I've ever seen that a Beamer would bring a punter to media days, given that coaching family has basically made their life by just having incredible special teams. So Kai Kroger, spelled like the grocery store, getting to come down. Little KK, Kai Kroger.
We have a lot of good names today.
Yeah. Well, said both on South Carolina. Spencer, okay, so actually, that's a great point, Rivers. South Carolina, all-time trio when it comes to the names. Spencer Rattler, which we take for granted.
We do.
Great
Because
quarterback
we say it a lot, so we don't think about it.
Great quarterback name. Punter Kai Kroger, and then defensive lineman Tonka Hemingway. Which sounds like a fake name you give when you're on the phone and you're maybe in your child's playroom and you're naming things around the room. You see the Tonka trunk in the corner. Maybe I'm sure Rivers at her house.
There's no doubt has
her
a
bookcase has a Hemingway
novel,
in there. Yeah. That sounds it sounds like Rivers' playroom. I've been in that place before, 100%. So shout out Tonka Hemingway.
You think it's a nickname?
I don't know. I do know this.
I think he probably played with a Tonka truck growing up, and
for a defensive lineman, Tonka is a great name.
who am I?
Generally, you don't think about. Yeah, no.
Who am I to? I'm not throwing any stones over here, but
I have a son named Memphis.
Yeah. So Tonka could definitely be his name.
You're not throwing stones. You're skipping them.
Okay.
On the rivers, on the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could have workshopped that a little.
God, what was it last year?
Wait, is this?
Oh, you don't have it up. Oh, you remembered.
What's going on? There we go. Okay, There we go. Finally got there. Okay, well, we'll work on the timing, guys. Is the point? I'm excited. I'm excited to see.
It's not his
today.
real name, guys.
It's not his real name.
Terrell H. Air quotes here. Tonka Hemingway.
Okay. Well,
it's okay. We'll get to the bottom of it.
We'll get to the bottom of it.
Ole Miss not bringing Jackson Dart. See, I think Tennessee bringing Joe Milton is interesting, Jake, because it does show that if nothing else, and I guess we kind of knew this, but that they have confidence in him. They think he's the guy, and he's ready to kind of take that step. There's not better players on their team that they're more. Even if he was going to be the starter, I guess what I'm saying is there's no guarantee that he would get brought to media day if they didn't believe in him.
No, you're right. He's been in the program, so that helps. I know we got some transfer quarterbacks that aren't here, but he's a face. He's a face, and you got Hendon Hooker here the first day with Bush Beans.
Yep.
And he was going around every time I passed by him. He was talking about Joe Milton and how he thinks he's the most talented quarterback in the country. No, obviously he's his teammate.
Most talented.
But talented is not that crazy.
Yeah. That could be true. That's something that Aaron's hammered that drum as well. Because he can throw it a mile.
Yeah.
But does that translate to wins? Well, we'll
and
see.
I mean, how important last year for him to come in when Hendon Hooker got hurt and be successful. You know what I mean? Threw for a ton of yards in the 2 games that he played in. They had a big victory against Clemson in a New Year's Six bowl game. Like, those things can certainly translate into the next season. And, I mean, probably more importantly into the offseason because, like, if Joe went out there and played bad in the offseason, he's trying to get the guys, like, fourth quarter program. And they're probably like, you're not very good, Joe. Like, we're not going to listen to you.
No, 100%. So him just being here, I think, is, a pretty good sign for him. What do you make of Ole Miss today and really kind of this year? They're bringing Judkins, who we mentioned, of course they are. Then they're bringing a couple defenders, which may be a bit surprising considering the Ole Miss era. Let's actually, Jake, I'm going to start with a bit of an LSU bent on this. Is Walker Howard in an even worse spot than he was at LSU? Because Spencer Sanders didn't win that job.
No,
Jackson Dart is the guy.
Yeah, well, Spencer Sanders, this is his last year, so, like, I guess
Yeah,
he goes out, but
what
so
I'm
is
saying,
Jaden's
it's also
last year,
It's also Jaden's last year.
He's in the same spot.
And the last year guy's the starter here, but the last year guy's not. The young guy's the starter there, is what I'm saying. That's why I'm calling it the worst spot. This would be like if he had stayed and Garrett Nussmeier won the starting job. All of a sudden, you're looking at your playing time being pushed back a couple of years. It feels like a very rough spot for Walker Howard outside looking at.
You and I both said it, like, when it happened, even before Spencer Sanders, like, man, I just don't – you're not guaranteed playing time there either. Yeah. And so, like, if you leave – why don't you go to somewhere that you can at least compete? Like, he's not competing to be the guy right now.
He's still third on the depth chart, just like it was going to be over here.
And if Jackson Dart starts this year again, and is successful, like,
and it seems like the news is like they're like love him, like he's been on fire during this spring session and summer.
So I don't really know what his future looks like. It was an interesting move. Like, I was surprised that he did because obviously the history. But Cole said it perfectly yesterday when we were doing. He's like, look, I saw a guy at the school I played. His dad played the same position, wore the same number, had a lot of success transferring Bo Nix. He said, I also saw, Bear Bryant's grandson transfer out of Alabama.
Yeah.
So he said, if those two things can happen, because I was talking about the same situation with Walker Howard. He's like, nothing's going to surprise me anymore.
That's fair. And it seems to have worked out for Nix quite well.
Yeah.
As Bo Nix evolved way beyond what anybody thought about him during his time at Auburn. I guess Ole Miss is also intriguing to me because last year they were truly a tale of two teams. I mean, they started 7-0. They had all the hype. Remember, they got to 7-0 beating Kentucky with defense.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was a ranked-on-ranked battle. I think it maybe launched Ole Miss into the top 10. That felt like
Chris
pretty
Rodriguez first game back. Yeah.
It felt unprecedented, though, that you could have an Ole Miss team winning with defense to get into the top 10. It was like something like they were 7-0. It was something weird, like they had won like 15 in the last 18. Like, it was like, oh my God. And then just everything fell apart.
Yeah, and they had one of the easiest schedules in the country leading to that point.
Yes, true.
But it was still hard to deny what they were doing.
Well, and we thought that Kentucky win was maybe a bit nicer than it ended up being as the season went on.
Yeah, we did. We thought that was going to be one they could hang their hat on. Then Kentucky falls, still only 7 wins in the season. Now, they do have Pete Golding as their defensive coordinator. And I don't feel like it's been talked about at all, not just here on this show, because we don't obviously talk a lot of Ole Miss and doing a deep dive, but like Pete Golding going from Alabama to Ole Miss as a defensive coordinator, that just doesn't happen a lot. Guys leave Nick to go be somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he was Coach Saban's defensive coordinator for a long time. And, like, this is his time to shine now. Like, there's no longer you've got Nick Saban in your ear asking you, why in the world are you doing that? Like, it is your defense. Lane's not going to bother you. You're going to have full autonomy of that defense. And so, like, their success is going to fall a lot on Pete Golding.
Yeah, unfortunately for Pete Golding, you also no longer have, like, Will Anderson, Jordan Battle, Henry To'o, and that's
Kool-Aid, and
So that's that'll be a bit different there. But again, Ole Miss bringing 2 defenders.
I want to say they brought 2 last year too.
Well, and the defense was much improved. I'm not saying they were great, but like it wasn't the complete disaster that it's been in other years. That's one of my big questions for Alabama. Is when you think about that defense replacing all of that star power. Actually, there's a lot of Alabama conversation that we can have. Says I think Nick Saban had some interesting things to say yesterday. So why don't we do this? We'll go to break. We'll maybe continue to break some things down today as we look forward to Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee. But then also I want to do a bit of a day 3 recap. What was interesting coming out of Arkansas, Alabama, Florida. So keep it locked right here on Off the Bench. Remember the coverage brought to you by Hudco Roofing. You catch everything on demand at youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Shout out Rev Business and who am I blanking on? Rev Business and Relief Windows for sending us down here as well. Super fun. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Oysters and scallops, beautiful sea bass, fresh Gulf fish and shrimp, and rich Ora King salmon. So yeah, Stab's Prime Steak and Seafood. Jefferson Highway across from Palermo Ristorante. Tell Leo that Kevin sent you. And don't forget, there ain't no cake in that crab cake. Come and see it.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We'll hear from Ole Miss, South Carolina, and the Tennessee Vols. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Couple guys in first class on a flight from New York to Los Angeles. Kind of making small talk, killing time, flirting with the flight attendants. 30,000 feet above, could be Oklahoma. Just a bunch of sweat.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing, All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Emil says, I need the Riders for Righteous Ginsomes to do a segment on the Jeremy Pruitt Tennessee scandal. Did y'all see? So I've only followed this tangentially because I actually, ironically, like when I'm here, I don't do nearly the amount of like keeping up with the news cycle and reading as I do when we're at home doing the show. But Jeremy Pruitt in Tennessee getting in trouble for paying players, which is kind of hilarious now. Also, again, where do you think he learned it? Which, again, this does not matter. Nobody cares, but that is actually proven. Pruitt's lawyer said that what he was doing in Tennessee wasn't out of the norm for him because it's what he was doing in Alabama, and they actually backed it up with bank records.
Ooh.
It's just that nobody, but it's not going to matter. Like, it's not going to make any noise.
Not anymore.
But when asked, buried in there is when asked about why he gave $300 to a recruit's mom, he said that he had George Floyd and racial inequity on the mind when he decided to.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
It's real?
Yes, that is
That's
being
not from
reported.
The Onion?
That is being reported. That is being reported as real. Which says, let's see, team up new boots. I never end up going boots, guys. I didn't have jeans, and I have learned you can wear cowboy hats with shorts.
Okay.
You cannot wear. I still don't think you can wear boots with shorts.
No, we told you that. Well,
Yeah.
unless you're new boot goofing.
Unless, or I'm a girl.
Yeah, no. I mean, yes. I mean, male.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like, yes, unless you're goofing. Like, yes,
Unless
if
you're
you're like in a
goofing.
NASCAR
Yeah.
race or something. And
I'm gonna
you're
be
in
honest.
a pit in the mud, then you could.
If
for
any of
sure.
us were going to be new boot goofing.
That is fair.
Yeah, I
That
cannot
is
believe
fair.
you didn't new boot goof all the way
Yeah.
down this aisle.
We're still here
It's
half a
early.
day.
No matter, it's like we've talked about this week. I certainly enjoy peacocking.
Yesterday-
we can be honest about that.
Yesterday, I'm sitting here. I'm producing Matt's show. I'm so tired. It's towards the end of the day. Things are winding down. Here comes T-Bob hat. I'm pretty sure you still had your Star Wars shirt on, and then those very, very short flower swim trunks.
Yeah,
Did you? I couldn't tell. Did you have your
I was at the
LSU shoes
pool.
on?
Yes.
What
yes,
a
I did.
fit.
I was at the pool right before it.
What a fit.
The best part is people.
And I had to come down to a hit, and I was like, am I going to change? I was like, no, dude.
The people that only know T-Bob from like
This.
events, like these events that we go to, they always ask me like, "Does T-Bob keep up that energy like every day?" I said, "All day."
All
Like,
day.
that's just
Yeah, baby.
that
This
is
is him.
T-Bob.
Yeah, baby,
that is
that's
who he
it.
is.
Let's ride, boys. I mean, I feel incredible, Dave. I could run a freaking marathon.
I
Are you
mean,
kidding
God.
me?
Do
It's the
you
least
ever
hungover I've
sleep?
ever
What's
been doing.
happening?
It's the least hungover I've ever been on all night. Well, what's funny is because I tried so desperately to finish Guardians, I still didn't go to bed till like 11:30.
Yeah.
But like I said, I caught some little micro naps while watching. So overall, we're probably still good. Chad said, I find it hard to believe that a grown-ass man in Louisiana doesn't own at least one pair of jeans. Seems crazy to me. I find it hard to believe that anybody wears jeans in Louisiana anymore.
wear
It's so
jeans.
hot. But no, it is true. Like, I guess that's weird. Growing up,
Do you
jeans
wear
were the
jeans?
thing.
Do you have jeans? No. I
I
wear
haven't
jeans.
worn jeans
but
in years.
I have lots of jeans.
Ever since I discovered comfy
Joggers.
Lulu pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but that's so acceptable now. Like
Yeah.
men can wear sort of like that kind of fancier athleisure.
Well, joggers, yes, but then I'm even talking about like the your kind of fake looking dress-like ones or whatever.
Technical wear.
Jake, coming up, or wait, what's going on? Did you have? Okay, I thought I missed something.
I was like, whoa, what?
It is voting time for the SEC. Top to bottom, it's time to vote 1 through 7, east and west, how we think it's going to finish. We arrived at this independently of one another. Let's start with the East. I think the East is far less interesting than the West. It's obviously far less powerful as well. How about this? for the SEC West in the 2000s. The SEC West has won it's won 12 of the last 14 SEC championships after losing 11 of the last 17. In the past 10 years, where is it? Only 4 of its teams have finished outside the S&P Plus top 60. All 7 teams are starting in the top 30 this year, right? So, that's why this part of the conference, that's why the West gets so hard to kind of choose, is that it could go so many different ways because every team is actually good. It's almost like one of our tier lists where when we critique something, it's not that it's bad, it's just that we're trying, some things are more good than others, and so it leads you talking bad about something that is good. So let's start with the East, though.
We're pretty similar. I thought we had the same ones, but now I'm eye-hustling yours a little bit more. There's a couple of teams, but for the most part at the top and the bottom, we're pretty similar.
So I got UGA and Tennessee 1-2 in the East. I feel I am giving Tennessee a bit of benefit of the doubt here, where I feel like they have rocketed past South Carolina, Kentucky, and the other middle of the pack, and that I think they'll win 10 games with a bowl game, and I think that they're probably on their way to being that consistent second best team right now.
This is not going to surprise anybody. There's going to be a couple of people that roll their eyes at this. I've got UGA 1, Kentucky 2, Tennessee 3, South Carolina 4.
Are you okay? So sell me.
The way that T-Bob just okay.
Sell me on the Cats. You and Aaron both love him. Devin Leary.
The SEC does not
combined with Liam Cohen. That is, he becomes more interesting.
The SEC does not know how good Devin Leary is. SEC fans, the general SEC fan, does not know that he broke all of Phillip Rivers' records, single season records at NC State.
True.
He was a top 10 quarterback before he gets hurt last year, right? And so he gets hurt early in the season, so he kind of gets out of sight, out of mind. He is as good or maybe even better as Will Levis. I truly believe that. As far as a quarterback, throwing the ball in the air, not all the things maybe that Will Levis can do.
He's better. He's not the physical talent, but, objectively, he has been a
much better passer.
He's been a way better college quarterback.
So
that's inarguable.
For that reason, I like. Also, they got Ray Davis from Vanderbilt at running back, who was a stud for Vanderbilt last year, and nobody talks about Ray Davis.
No, I don't know about Ray Davis.
Yeah, he well over 1,000 yards. Again, as a Vandy running back with not a lot of help, he is somebody. Now he steps in because you lose Chris Rodriguez, you lose Cavassier Smoke to Colorado. Now he comes in. He's going to be your guy. Who can kind of be somebody that comes in for him? We still got to find that one. This might be the best group in the totality of the room of receivers they've ever had. Now, they've had better individual maybe receivers, but they've got 3 guys that I think it's the best group maybe they've ever had.
I will say this. Kentucky with the Cohen hire, getting him back from the Rams, solved to me what their biggest problem was. But it's not wholly solved. It's just made better. My problem with picking Kentucky over Tennessee is Tennessee, because of Heupel's scheme, and I guess maybe this could all go right if Milton's not that guy, but I think Milton is going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But because of Heupel's scheme, Tennessee has a way of elevating its talent, right? Because they're schematically they're so unique, they're going to press you in ways other teams will not, and so you can get more out of okay players. At Kentucky, Stoops' philosophy is one, very pro style, very old school. That feels like a philosophy that is generally directly related to your talent, right? If you don't have the dogs, you cannot have success in the system. Now, I think Liam Cohen changes a bit of that because he is such a good offensive coordinator. Now he has a really good quarterback. So I feel you.
And I'm not down on Tennessee either. I'm really not.
No,
I think Tennessee's a good football team, but I'm high on Kentucky. And look, I know it's kind of been the last couple of years, and people roll their eyes because, me, Cole, and Doring all love Kentucky, and they're like, okay, we get it, guys. But I truly believe that they can be that team because of Devin Leary and Ray Davis and the schedule. Ball State, Eastern Kentucky, and Akron in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get some momentum there. Then you go on the road to Vanderbilt. Okay, you're going to be favored in that game. They beat you a year ago. They beat you a year ago at home. So Florida, you're going to play them at home. Now you got to go to Georgia. You could play them anywhere. It could be in Baghdad. You're not going to win that game, so it doesn't really matter.
No,
okay. And then you've got Missouri at home, Tennessee at home. Now you got to go to Mississippi State, and then you got Alabama the next week. That's a tough stretch for them.
At
South Carolina
could
and
be the
at
one
Louisville
that decides
as well. So I think at the end of the year, if they find a way to beat Mississippi State at home, then you lose to Alabama, you're still talking about maybe 2 losses. Okay, so I think they can be right there in it with the swing game being at South Carolina.
The problem is I just don't I don't like between Mizzou, even Florida, Mississippi State, South Carolina, like I just see them tripping up 1 or 2 times. But we'll see. Because I got UJ, Tennessee, I got South Carolina, then I got Kentucky. And really I'm just getting rizzed up by Beamer here. Somebody said it earlier this week. You've never heard Shane Beamer talk and then been like less excited about your football team.
No question about it. No question about it.
I love that line, and pretty much he's working his mind ninjas on me.
Would you say that 2, 3, and 4 in the East are incredibly close, and you could really interchange those teams? Because that's where I'm at.
I think that I don't. Again, I feel like Tennessee's gonna separate. Like over, I think Tennessee's going to be closer to the top tier than middle tier, but maybe I'm wrong. But certainly South Carolina, Kentucky, I could go either way, and I want to think twice about it.
Yeah, we both agree on 5, 6, and 7 though.
Yeah, so we got Mizzou 5, Vanderbilt 6.
That's right.
And then the Florida Gators at 7. I did not.
Look how happy Jake is right now.
I know.
Look how happy he is.
But I mean, it's true, dude. Florida only returned. I mean, they get Graham Mertz, but I think they returned like 3 starters on offense, 4 on defense, which they already weren't good last season.
Like, do they get Graham Mertz, or they have to take Graham Mertz?
Yeah. I mean, and this is a question that I was asking on Snaps yesterday. What is Florida's identity? Like, what is their strength? During the Urban Meyer era, they were the forefront of offensive theory, right? They were changing the game with the RPO. They had this incredible quarterback. They've had other times, Jake, where it's been the defense that has been dominant, has been winning them games. Obviously, with Dan Mullen, they had, no exaggeration, one of the best play callers that we've seen in this era of college football. Like, look at the success he had at Mississippi State. Look at what he did at Florida as well. So they've always had something they kind of say, this is who we are. And under Napier, I don't know what that is.
I don't either. And I'm not sure that they do. I mean, because last year you had the unicorn at quarterback. So your identity kind of went out the window because it's like, hey, let him go out there and do his deal.
Especially after that first game.
No question. I mean, I don't want to say it made it worse because, like, he had a hell of a night, but it probably did.
It kind of oddly did. It's like,
actually,
you
know what?
Nick Saban talked about being too Bryce-centric the last 2 years.
You know what? Actually, Coach Napier, when I kind of asked him about, like, hey, what do you do? Because you had Anthony Richardson, now you got Graham Mertz. Does the offense change? And he went to this long answer. He was trying to say no, but then he kind of gave me like a little tidbit. He's like, well, after Anthony kind of did some things that he did, we did kind of change some things up offensively and kind of got away from some of the things that we had planned on doing. So he kind of changed the offense, and so you don't have an identity there. And then it's like, okay, well, what's the identity now? Now, they got 2 good running backs in Johnson and Etienne, but are you really going to say, hey, this is going to be the guys that we lean on? Hey, Graham Mertz, you're going to be basically the Wisconsin quarterback again, and you're going to hand off to these 2 really good football players? Because I don't know who you're going to throw it to. I mean, Ricky Pearsall, who was here yesterday, is a good player. He's their leading receiver, but he had 600 total yards.
Well, they don't. Let's think they don't have any returning players. Like, they've got no returning starters and an already bad 6-17, which I guess could kind of go either way. Like, maybe it's not an inherent negative because you're not bringing back guys who weren't good, but it's just.
Well, you're bringing in guys that now are not proven.
And their schedule's brutal.
Oh, it's I can't find 6. I can't find 6 wins on that. Can you?
If you're no, we played. I think we played this game maybe yesterday, the day before.
I don't even know what show I've said what. So
I know. It's tough to keep track.
Literally no idea.
No, it is tough to keep track right now. But their schedule's brutal, and then you're like, okay, but how are you picking them over Vanderbilt? Well, Vandy beat him last year, but beyond that, if you just think about kind of a kind of investor confidence, momentum sort of deal. Like Vandy's on the upswing, Florida on a hard downswing right now. Real quick too, I should mention, I mean, when I talk about South Carolina finishing 3rd in the East, that's just all on Spencer Rattler being the Spencer Rattler that you saw for those last couple games, and not the one that you saw that looked really pedestrian for the vast majority of the year before just absolutely blowing up at the end.
I think the coordinator situation, Satterfield was there last year. He's going from Lincoln Riley, who's a code word, very small verbiage guy, to Satterfield, who is the paragraph guy.
Yeah.
Well, now Dow Loggins, who's coming in, like he's been with Kendall Briles over the last couple of years. He'll probably go back to something he's more familiar with and similar to what he had at Oklahoma. And they did simplify things there at the end for South Carolina, but still, man, it's like, how many coordinators can this guy grow through? It's going to be his third in 3 years if you're Spencer Rattler. So I think Dow Loggins is a stud. He's been in the NFL. I think he would have been Arkansas's offensive coordinator if they would have known Kendall Briles was going to lead them sooner. So I think Shane got the guy that he wanted. So it's all going to, for me, like, what does the verbiage look like? How does Spencer Rattler transition to yet again another offense?
We'll go to break here in a second, but Billy Napier's not going to get fired this year. Anybody you talk to out of Florida just tells you that's not even really in the cards.
And because their AD, Scott Strickland, hired Billy Napier.
Yeah.
That's the key thing here.
And he is a good recruiter. I didn't know this. Emil saying that he flipped Mike Norvell's top-rated wide receiver yesterday. So anytime you're taking directly from the Florida State coffers, that's going to get you some juice as well. All right, so that's the East. When we get back, let's see how the SEC West is going to finish here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. You need a new vehicle. Maybe you want a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get that excellent warranty coverage, but it's a bit more affordable. Or maybe you just need to rent because you're going to Disney or somewhere else, man. The bottom line is that All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge is there for you. And it's the people that make the place there, right? They have all the selection, they have all the tech, that's great. You can actually buy right from the website if you want. But it's the people that really separate in the service you're going to get. It's second to none. Go support the people who support us, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, if you got that last-minute vacation right before school starts, remember you can rent a Toyota today. Per-day rental prices, so if you want a Sequoia, Sienna, Tundra, Tacoma, whatever you want, it's certainly going to be available for you there. Check out those per-day rental prices. Again, the full fleet is available, not only if you need something bigger, if you need something smaller, they got you covered. Check out their website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best-kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Our final day from Radio Row: Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Tennessee take the big stage. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A beauty from South Alabama. Her daddy had a heart like a 9-pound hammer. Think he even did a little time in the slammer. What was I thinking? She snuck out one.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days, presented by Hudco Roofing, All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, day number 4, the final day here in Nashville. It's been a hell of a time. Shout out Rev Business, Relief Windows for having us here, as well as Hudco Roofing, bringing you all the coverage. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN is where you can get it if you miss any of it. We're going to talk SEC West here in a minute and rank them 1 to 7. Real quick on Florida, though. I know he's not. I know he's not in trouble like we talked about Billy Napier this year, but if Florida does not okay, so you can't find 5 wins. You think you're going to have a losing record?
I can find 5. I don't know that I can find 6, and they won 6 last year. So if they go 6-7 last year and they go 5-7 this year, but you're trying to promote, hey, but wait till the future, and you take a step down, is that going to fly? Even though you hired him for Scott Strickland, even though you just fired Dan Mullen after he was way more successful, like,
I think you at least give him year 3. I'm sure.
I think you should. No, T-Bob. I think you should. I think Billy Napier is a good football coach, but sometimes good football coaches get fired, and sometimes good football coaches don't end up in the right space.
And all I was pointing out is that if they do have another losing season, that'll be 3 in a row. That'll be the first time since 1953 to 1955. So you're talking about first time in 70 years that you would have had that much of an extended. Yeah. So I mean, we are in some pretty unprecedented waters if you're a Gators fan.
Hey, write that stat down. I'm about to go on the SEC network with Doring. Write that down for me, please, and I'll cite my source.
Well, I should cite it probably. I think it came from an Advocate article. I think I think maybe
T-Bob Abear.
No,
that's my source.
No, I think it was Rabelais.
T-Bob Abear.
T-Bob's saying it everywhere. He came up with this stat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the SEC West. Like we talked about, obviously the most dominant conference, most have the conference for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
And it's mainly Alabama, but it's not just Alabama, right? You've had LSU win natties, you've had Auburn win natties in there. Even A&M in their 9-1 2020 year was very nationally relevant. And so, and like we said, there's no bad teams. Every team is going to start in the S&P plus top 30. Last year's so weird, Jake, because Alabama on paper was actually a markedly better team than LSU. Like if you look at all the analytics, everything else, just game-to-game dominance, they were a more consistent team.
Ended in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah. They dominated. Right. But LSU did a great job of, first off, winning the game when it matters, and obviously beating Alabama head-to-head, and that ends up being the difference. Going into this year, though, it feels like LSU should be the better team on paper. So, yeah, I like the Tigers to finish first in the West.
Yeah, I've got LSU at number 1 as well, and that's not a homer pick because there's been plenty of years that we have come here and I have put Alabama ahead of LSU.
Try every year. I've never chosen anybody.
There might be one.
I don't think I've ever chosen anybody but Alabama.
There might have been
West.
1 year. I mean, maybe coming off the Fiesta Bowl in 2018, I might have picked LSU. I don't even remember if I did. So yeah, probably Alabama.
Did, that's a good bit if you did.
Can we go back and look? Is that public
no idea
information? Because that would be good. But I feel not because of where we play, because of where we do radio. I feel like LSU right now is ready to take that step. When you look at who they have, now depth is an issue in some places, but if you go down and you start breaking down positions, I like LSU's offensive line better, I like their receivers better, I like their quarterbacks better. I'm not saying that Alabama's running backs are better than LSU's right now. It's kind of a push for me, right? When you start looking at defensive playmakers, I like LSU's defensive front a little bit better. Now, edge rusher, Dallas Turner, LSU doesn't have that guy.
No, but you
so,
got the
but
interior,
if you
but
wanted
they don't
to,
have Mason Smith.
but if you wanted to have that guy in Harold Perkins, you technically you could, but you want to play him in the middle, which I agree with.
But Kelly did talk about Perkins coming off the edge
he's gonna do
this
different
week as well.
things.
Yeah, like let's be clear.
But
He's gonna do
I mean,
different things.
you've heard me talk about this 1,000 times, T. Like, if I'm a running back and I've got Harold Perkins on the edge, I'll take that every day over the A-gap. And you probably would too, because I can shut something off.
Yeah.
By my positioning, I can say, you're not coming right here. Like, you are going to have to beat me around the horn. You can't go inside. That's not where you're going to beat me.
It's
So I
simple
can
geometry.
I can use my offensive line with me, and so now I only have to worry about bull rush or around the horn. But if you're coming in the A-gap, oh, man, I'm terrified.
It can get real, well, especially because
it's a three-way go.
Well, and now you're combining him with also you're having to deal with Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo. So you got to deal with them two on the interior, and then Harold Perkins just sitting there playing games, dancing around.
And he's got a 5-yard
him.
head start sometimes.
Yeah, it's going to be. If I was Harold Perkins, I would watch Demario Davis film.
Yeah.
Because he's probably the best interior pass rusher from the inside linebacker spot that I've ever seen.
Demario Davis, Devin White, two of the best at
White's
doing
really good
that.
as well.
I mean, they're incredible. I'm trying to think, like, who may be one of the best that I played against. Derek Johnson was so good at it. Like, Derek Johnson played at Texas, played for the Chiefs forever.
Okay, yeah.
He was really good at it. I mean, because he was so big and strong, you'd rush up there to try to stone him at the line so, he couldn't get going.
Yeah.
But then he was smooth enough to give you the Olay or give you a dip and rip or the wiggle. And certainly Harold Perkins has all of those moves. So I like him in the middle of that deep. I mean, T-Bob, find me right now with Mekhi Wingo, Mason Smith, Harold Perkins, Omar Spates. Find me 4 players in the country in the middle of your defense that you would trade in. I don't think we could find one. I would ask Cole and Greg sitting next to us. I'd ask Brian sitting next to us. Like, hey, find 4 guys in the middle of a defense that you would sub. I don't think you could find 4.
All right, so let's go ahead. We got to go to break. When we get back, we'll continue to rank the West. But I think objectively, LSU, that is a correct call. Like, this is not a homer take. In fact, I think they'll win the media poll today, but only time will tell. It is going to be close. It's not the slam dunk that I thought it was going to be coming into the week. Coming up next, more OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you need somebody who's going to fight for you, you get Gordon. You get it done. 225-888-8888. Gordon McKernan, look, man, like I said, you need Justin Corbin. He's got you, man. And in a way, you joined the G team. The same team that a lot of your favorite athletes are on, as the godfather of NIL has provided opportunity for these young men and women to benefit off their skill sets, which we applaud, we like, and through it, also doing some really cool content, man. You can follow Gordon at GetGordon, wherever you're on social media, and you can watch some sit-downs with your favorite athletes, get an idea into the headspace of a Harold Perkins, a Mason Smith, how excited he is to be back this year, revenge season, fully in play. It's all there for you, the G-Team, 225-888-8888. Join the G-Team today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Bayou Ford has $8,000 off MSRP, plus 1.9% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks, along with Bayou Ford's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan.
Charles Henniger, join us for the next edition of Live at Lunch from Louis Cafe just off the LSU campus. We'll be wrapping up SEC Media Days with Jacob Hester, and Matt Human stops by as well. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Seen you in forever.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by HUDCO Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ever since some point out, I realized T-Bob does say objectively a lot. Elmo, have you ever listened to my dad do radio? That's not an opinion. That's a fact. Objective. Like, yeah, it's been like driven into my skull.
I did go over while you were doing the read there. Shout out GetGordon.com, and I asked Cole the question. I was getting confirmation. He said no. LSU's got the best middle of the defense in the country.
And Cole is a savant.
Yeah.
Like, I know yesterday I said nobody knows what any of these players look like, and I would love to test the media and have like the list of names or the headshots and have everybody try to match. Cole would probably score among the highest, I would say.
I don't know that I'd put anybody ahead of Cole.
No, not in that regard. I think you would do pretty well as well.
I feel good about second place.
I would be at the bottom. But, you know, hey.
No, Peter Burns would.
You don't even know what people in your day-to-day life look like.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's actually a little too real, a little too true.
How many people, like, in like, T-Bob's inner circle do you feel like you truly know?
Well, okay, if you're in the inner circle, I do. I mean, I
Are
do
we
know
in the
you.
inner circle?
Yes, I think I could pick y'all out of a lineup.
Okay.
I feel sometimes when we're in public, I'm trying to think of examples of this, but like in The Devil Wears Prada, you know, like Anne Hathaway's like with Meryl Streep, but she's like they'll go to like public events and she stands there and someone walks up and she's like so and so. Or like if you've ever seen Veep, you know, like whatever.
I saw that with Woodward the first time.
Can I give you all a real life experience of what she's talking about? So 2021, Alabama, LSU in Tuscaloosa, and obviously, like, I know Coach Saban well and play for him and everything, but he has a handler that sits next to him during pregame. And I start to walk up to him to say hello to him, and I hear the handler say, Jacob Hester, LSU.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, I heard him say it, like,
incredible.
saw him do it.
We need to work on that guy's volume.
Yeah.
It was, well,
what are we doing?
I think Coach Saban's had some trouble with his hearing, but then I saw, I forget who else on LSU staff, like, probably coached with him, whatever he said, whatever his name was, LSU. And, like, he had someone tell him, which is genius, but, hey, you got to work on the volume. But it's genius because then Coach Saban go, hey, Jake, what's going on?
Yes.
I mean,
I'm that person for T-Bob.
You see, I've used him in that regard. I mean, you see the same thing out of, like, when I was talking to Cowherd the other day, and I was just talking about the first time I ever watched Brian Kelly work that room in the
that was great,
alumni event.
That was good. That was a good podcast.
Like, he had that same thing going on. Now, more subtle how he's being fed information.
Hey, T-Bob and I were so giddy that first day.
But his ability, though, to kind of immediately ingratiate was very impressive.
He remembered you posting your feet at the press conference.
Yep, at the opening press
conference.
Incredible.
I forgot about it. He goes, you're the guy with the feet at the press conference.
How happy and sad did that make you?
Well, so y'all want to know the truth? I've never told this out loud. It actually sent me into a spiral of social anxiety. Where I thought that he thought of me as like a joker and like not serious. And
we're good. You're Gucci now, though.
And that he was gonna like.
Why would he ever think that?
I know. But I thought that it was. I thought
Off
that
the
like
bench
in my
with
head
Hester
I made it
and
into an
T-Bob.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Rev Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore and down the bayou to the coast, all to connect your business with the world. Rev is about big business technology with small business personal service, powerful solutions, unmatched local service. Rev Business.
Bayou Ford has $8,000 off MSRP, plus 1.9% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks, along with Bayou Ford's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, July 20th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. Coming up on OTB, Roman Harper of the SEC Network joins the show. And at 8:30, we talk to Coach David Cutcliffe. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the SEC Media Days in Nashville, starts now.
Let we go. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 2. Look, we're going to have a quick first segment because we got Roman Harper coming up at 8:10, and everybody's on a bit of tight schedules. We got to work around those.
I know we got to go quick. Roman Harper, probably the coolest human being here.
Yeah, dude, it's so crazy, man.
We'd all agree.
The swag levels are out of control.
Real quick, how are you?
Riz Roman is what the kids
are
calling
you,
him.
That athletic, that good looking, that sharp,
Yeah.
that funny, and that nice.
He is the kindest person. He sat across from us at table.
How are you all those things?
Listening to him talk at dinner the other night about how the offense, when they break the huddle, tells a story. Like listening to an 11-year NFL safety just talk about like what he sees. I've used this a lot with quarterbacks. I never used it with the defender, but he is like that final scene in The Matrix when Neo sees the Matrix for what it is, and he sees like the green code scrolling. He sees football at a depth that I can't even.
That's something,
really
man. I wish we had. And look, we all have 37 jobs and 37 children as well. But like, I would love to have something that was me and you having guys like Roman on, and let's talk about those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like long form, unedited, and be able to. And I know you could do a podcast, but in person, it's so much better too.
I just want to do the all 22, man.
I know.
I would love to do all 22.
I think we're going to get that back this year. I've had those conversations. I know we had some snitches on us last year.
But I was talking, even the SEC Network guys were saying they can't even use the all 22.
Right, but I think we can. We just got to make sure that we get some type of. It's not even approval. It's just we were doing it, and then somebody else wasn't allowed to do it, and so.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, Roman was late for that dinner, and I thought it was so interesting. He walked in. I mean, we were all having fun and whatever, but I feel like he walked in and just sort of like owned that room.
Yeah.
He owned it before he got in it. He had sent Alyssa a message about asking about menu items, and like he was already owning the room before he was in it.
Oh man. All right. So okay, real quick. We like LSU, and again, do I overuse objective? Objectively, that's potentially a correct opinion. But my point is that, again, this is not just a homer take. Alabama, number 2, I think that's clear. I think these two are in a tier of their own this year. Alabama winning it would not surprise me at all. Nick Saban still has too much real estate, and I understand all the reasons. We talked about it yesterday, but Nick Saban has too much real estate in my head to doubt him too hard. I like Texas A&M 3. This is another conversation that we've already had this week, but simply put, I think there's a lot of reasons to explain why it went so horribly wrong with A&M last year, and I think there's pretty clear reasons as to why it could go much better this year. Like, I don't know what the A&M ceiling is.
Yeah.
I know that the floor is not going to be what it was last year.
I'll just jump in real quick because this is our first different one on the West. LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M.
Okay.
I think is how I had it last night.
So
now,
we flipped him because I got
look,
Ole
I
Miss
just
4.
watched John Wick 4, and so I had a little adrenaline, so I don't really remember maybe the correct order, but I think I went LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M in my top 4.
Why Ole Miss over A&M?
I love Quinshon Judkins. He's the best running back potentially in the country. I think Jackson Dart's good enough. You go get a receiver from UTSA and Louisiana Tech. Now, this is a different level than what they've played at, but I think the combination of those two guys can be something where it's almost like one stud receiver for Ole Miss. And Pete Golding. I'm a big fan. Look, I played golf with Pete Golding in the Senior Bowl alumni tournament, not this year but last year because you and I both bailed this year,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I know. Sorry, Jim.
And I feel like I know football pretty well. And he was talking about things, and I was like, hey, Pete, you got to slow down. Like, we're talking fronts and coverages, and, like, I try to pride myself on as, like, you're over my head. And then I got confirmation because Cole said that he was doing games with Pete Golding, and he was over his head. I go, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this guy is – I think he's one of those people where he's been caged a little bit with Coach Saban.
Which is weird, though, because he's kind of been blamed by Alabama fans.
I know, but I think he's about to because he can take chances with Lane, and Lane's not going to MF him because he's taking chances.
True.
Like, you can be aggressive.
True.
And I think he has an aggression to him that has not been unleashed yet.
Okay, so then I got Auburn, Mississippi State, Arkansas to round it out.
I've got Mississippi State, Auburn, and Arkansas to round out my
That's
5,
probably
6,
fair. That's
and
probably
7.
fair.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing
Mississippi
there?
State. What am I
What are you
doing
doing
there?
there?
I'm kind of a
just
bit of a freeze boy. I'm kind of a bit of a freeze boy. I think that Auburn has. I've said it. Auburn is like the Viet Cong or the Taliban or cockroaches. You just can't kill them.
Yeah.
They have a belief that gives them this kind of power. Like, there's no reason why they should have just set a record for season ticket sales. Why?
I have no idea how, like.
Fair. I know what you're saying, T.
I'm just saying they believe.
Yeah, that's fair. I was about to come up with something. Honestly, like, there's no reason that should happen.
Yeah.
They believe it. And Freeze is a perfect fit for
The
them.
blackjack dealer.
I think so. You said that the other day. You were talking about the fit with Freeze.
Yeah.
I think that was you. Again, I don't know who said what, but I feel like that was you. But
I think we got to give Arnett a chance to see like what football guy does at Mississippi State because they've had the last 2 guys, the last 3 guys that they've had have been total visor offensive guys.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Very true.
He is a different vibe for sure. I have never been more unsure. I feel like you've got some people, the Mississippi State people, you talk to them and they're like, oh, 8 wins. Yeah, 8. I asked you all the other day. You were like,
Let's
6.
go. Hey, what? Brian,
No,
how many wins for Mississippi State?
He said 8.
He said 8 and 4.
8 and 4.
So he's saying 8 and 4. I asked y'all. You said
7. Okay, 8
I
and 7.
asked y'all. You said 6 and 6. You know, someone's telling me Vegas is saying 4 wins. I mean, I do not know.
I think I said 7 and 5.
I don't know what's happening.
It's
like nobody. There's no clear. Everyone's just sort of like
ignorance.
I don't know.
Look at throughout human history, right? Ignorance breeds fear and distrust, and so that's my only deal with Mississippi State is I don't know how to judge them,
right?
Because I just don't know them.
The Vegas thing doesn't bother me as much, and even you said it, like. You know, Vegas can be wrong. Whatever.
Vegas is wrong on Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, yes, that's what I'm saying. Vegas can be wrong, but I mean, just around the room, anytime you ask, you're just getting different numbers. You're getting different numbers, and I think it's
LSU was that team last year to some extent. You know, LSU was like 7 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins,
absolutely.
whatever it was. And so I know it's a different conversation, but I do like the fact that, okay, we've had Mullen, we've had Moorhead, we've had Coach Leach. Now we've got something different. We've got a guy that is a defensive guy. He's a football guy. He's got a different personality. And is he going to interview the best? No. But he obviously – look, he's only
I'm
been to 2
hoping that we
schools.
make up for – yes, we saw you kind of said that to me. I saw him on AFR. He is just you ask him a question, he's going to give you an answer.
He was better the second time I had him.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe that means just he really is
That did
just
not sound
true
good.
football guy. The players love him. I hope he just does it, you know. We'll see.
And like I said, you know, 3rd in the West last year, 9 and 4, almost a 10-win team.
Now, in Arkansas at 7, and T-Bob, you laid this out. Arkansas at 7 does not mean we think they're going to be a bad football
All
team.
these 7 teams are in the top 30 in Conley's S&P Plus. Just understand that.
Arkansas just defensively, pass defense is awful.
All right, Ian, I want to get into that later as well. But right now, let's go to break. When we get back, Roman Harper coming on. I guarantee he's going to talk crap about me, still owing him a free drink. But we'll arrive there. When we get there, more
Yo, him,
OTB
me,
coming up
Rivers.
next. No,
Off
I got
the
hers.
bench with
I got
Hester
hers.
and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge,
I made a
New
big
Orleans,
cash purchase.
Alexandria, and 11:30 the Tiger.
Yeah, I might need to save some of that money that I spent honky-tonking the other night. I might have to call my guy Thomas Email, see if he can rework any insurances that he hasn't already. 225-206-1517. That's the cell phone number for Thomas Email. You call it whenever he's going to answer it. Riverlands Insurance is one of the fastest-growing insurance companies in the South, right here in Louisiana, so they understand the intricacies of the market, how to manipulate it, how to get you the best deals. And it's any type of insurance,
30.
business, personal, home, auto, whatever. They got it. It's only one call away. You don't lift a finger and you save money. Like, there's just not a better way to save money, guys. 225-206-1517.
Yeah, the number's going to work in Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, Lafayette, Lake Chuck, New Orleans, Baton. Like, it doesn't matter. Anywhere in the state of Louisiana where you can hear us, you can call Thomas and he can help you out today. In fact, we say it all the time, he can help you right now. So pick up the phone, give him a call, 225-206-1517.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,500 off MSRP on all new 23 Ram 1500 Laramie trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We'll hear from Ole Miss, South Carolina, and the Tennessee Vols. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
To this day, when I hear that song, I see you standing there on that lawn. Discount shades, store-bought.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB, hour number 2. Right now, it's my pleasure to be welcomed by former friend of the show. I say former. He used to come on weekly. Then, he goes SEC Network. Next thing you know, he's wearing these fine suits everywhere. And, well, all of a sudden, our wonderful weekly Saints segment with Roman Harper was nowhere to be found. Ro, what's up, dude?
What's up,
dog? What do you say for yourself for bailing on your boys?
Hey, you know what?
Real good guy there, bro.
Sometimes life happens. You outgrow friends.
Yeah, yeah,
that's what
exactly.
happens.
It's like one time during LSU spring game, somebody snapped a picture on the sideline, and it was me and Odell and Jarvis all talking. And this is at the height of Odell, probably the coolest I've ever looked in a picture. And then Odell later put the picture on Instagram with the caption, "Sometimes you got to cut the fat out of your life." I was trimmed out the picture. I was cropped out. I was literally cropped out the picture in a post talking about cutting the fat out of your life. Just a real low moment for your boys, Brand. But we bounced back.
T-Bob, sometimes life hits us hard, bro.
Well, I made sure to respond with the unaltered image to show that no, I was cool enough to get in the crew. Ro, what's up? Before we talk football here, you have just a horribly ugly houndstooth blazer on, but there is one part of this that I love. You have a Grogu pin on. Is this Star Wars? I had no idea. You're a Star Wars fan?
I am. Well, we call it Star Wars, but it's really Mandalorian. But yes.
So that's what I'm saying. But are you did you love all the movies growing up, or did you just start to get into it like with Mandalorian?
No. I loved all the movies.
Okay.
Too.
Okay. Hell yeah, dude. What's up, dude?
So I would say that the movies were huge for me. I didn't realize how impactful they were back in the day.
Yeah.
Because I was just so young. I didn't understand it. But as you get older, you go back and you watch them. You're like, dude. First of all, Darth Vader's my one or number 2 greatest villain of all time.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
His ability to do all he does, it almost makes you kind of root for the Sith.
To me, it's a lot of Star Wars like this too. It's a masterclass in storytelling by design.
Yes.
Because the second Darth Vader steps through that door in New Hope, this is a bad MFer.
Yeah.
Like this is just his costume, his shape language. Like you immediately know this is someone you do not want to tangle with.
There's no doubt about it. And of course we all root for Luke Skywalker and the good. And the closest thing I've had to this whole deal in a recent sports event is in Wimbledon, where we all know Djokovic is almost like Darth Vader. He is great. Yep. He is, one of the greats of all time. He's just and he plays up being the dark, the evil, the heel.
And here comes young Alcaraz.
And here comes young Alcaraz as Luke Skywalker.
Get some power converters.
And just kind of continues to go and go and grow. So it was just, I'm a big Star Wars fan. And yes, I'm glad you noticed. It's all about the details with all my suits.
You guys are very similar. Y'all are vibing today.
I know.
Big Wimbledon guy. Big Star Wars guy.
Well, not a big Wimbledon guy, but I got into tennis 3 months ago. Me and my wife have been playing a ton.
Me too.
So
that's how it happened to me too.
It's super fun, bro.
It's super fun.
And then anything else in life, when you start to do something, then you want to watch people who are best. And you're like, oh my God, dude, how is that even physically possible?
I see some of those returns where it's really low, right there at the back of the line. I'm like, how do they get that back over with enough topspin to land back on the other side?
Dude,
very impressive.
Did you used to feel like Vader when you'd wear the All Blacks with the Saints?
Yeah, I wanted to. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
I just wanted the dark.
To me, that's the baddest
visor,
uniform in the NFL.
Yeah, it's cold, bro.
Did y'all used to feel a little extra aggression levels when you'd be rocking the All Blacks?
Well, it was either that or the quote unquote bounty scheme. It was one of those. We're pretty aggressive regardless.
Ro, we had a good, and I know I still owe you a drink, so don't worry. That is okay. Still out there. But we had a good conversation the other night where you were talking about, as a defender, when the offense breaks the huddle, it tells you a story.
Yes.
Right.
So,
and this is fascinating to see. Okay, well, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, it's just because I only understand the game from where I know it, from my place, right? And so from my place of experience and being in the NFL for so long, the game really starts to slow down. And so my eyes have changed over time in the way I look at football. And when I was talking to you, it's the biggest thing now is that as I continue to grow, I want to go and learn an offensive breakdown because I get to see the other side of it. And right now when I see the game, every time the offense breaks the huddle, they're telling you a story. You just got to learn how to read the book. motion here, offset back here. What is that telling you? Offset back, I formation, if he's in far position, they throw the ball 70-something% of the time. It's not 100%, but as soon as I see I far, I'm yelling bird, bird, bird because I know it's coming through the air. So now I'm loosening it up. I'm ready to play pass. They motion down to a short motion, building another, a certain formation. Now I'm ready to say rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. I'm getting tighter to the line of scrimmage, expecting run. And if they run it, I'm ready to make my play. If they pass it, I be able to bail back out and become an athlete. So it's just everything's happening at a time and a reason. And, everything, it's always something. Like something said it equals something else. Y shallow always equals X dig. You got to go find it. So it's the way the game works and the way my mind continues to spiral all the time.
You said that earlier about the Matrix thing.
Yeah, I told you.
I think I just experienced that with you. I was like, wow.
This is exactly what he said to me. You're like the Matrix.
What just
It's like
happened?
Neo. No, but I mean, that's real talk. That gives you just an inkling of the depth. Okay, real quick, Ro, because I know you got to go. Then, with that ultra-analytical mind, who are you picking to win the West?
You can jump all you want.
Say something.
I really like LSU.
Okay.
But I'm going to take Alabama because the game is at Tuscaloosa this year.
Fair.
So that's really the only reason I got it. But Alabama could still lose to Texas and still win the SEC.
Yeah,
It's all about win.
Bro, Texas sucks, dude.
I think Texas is so overhyped right now.
Sark's never won 10 games.
Yeah, it's almost like reminds me a little bit of Texas A&M, right?
Yeah.
And so every year we talk about how great Texas A&M is going to be, and they're going to be this. And I'm like, I'm from Missouri on all these teams. Like, you're gonna have to show me. I don't care about it.
I agree.
You're gonna have to show me. But I'm taking Alabama just because the biggest game is going to be Alabama LSU and the two best teams, and the game's at home. And home advantage matters in college.
Roman Harper, a member of the most legendary Saints draft class ever, littered with 10-year vets somehow. Should have been mathematically impossible. Alabama great, unfortunately, but great friend of the show after this, I suppose. I guess we're friends again, man. Actually, the Grogu pen was really what brought it back. My dog.
Hey, you know what, T-Bob? I'll just be honest, man. You're a great dude, great human being. Your shirt is on point today.
Shout out to your moo-moo.
Yeah, shout out, bro. And Roll Tide. Thank you.
You
knew I was going to get it in.
Yeah, you knew it was coming. All right, bro. Take it easy.
Bye, bro.
Always fun getting to hang out with Roman Harper. And I wish everybody's schedule wasn't so tight, because as you can hear, this man really does see the game and interpret the game to a depth which others just don't. Later, bro.
I mean, for real though.
Yeah.
He was like,
and that was just
what just happened?
That was, people say tip of the iceberg. That was quite literally just the tip of the iceberg with how you could get him to start to break things down.
I think you could have talked to him about anything.
Yeah, you can. He's the man. And he's one of the great all-time Saints. We were talking about the draft class yesterday. It's like 5 or 6 guys ended up playing 10 years, which should be that's just never supposed to happen. Bunny Money says the definition of swag, Roman Harper. Yeah.
And he was just there at a wild time. Like we were talking about, that was that year that the training camp was in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yes.
And I remember going with my dad went to that, and I was there. And
well, that's the
wild.
Famous, that's the kind of Saints Junction Boys moment. That camp is notorious for being absolutely brutal.
Just so brutal.
As Sean Payton tried to welcome in and usher in the new era of Saints football. I mean, it's a camp that you wouldn't do nowadays, because you would kind of get people would make fun of you for maybe like going too hard or kind of breaking the team in a lot of ways, but
apparently it worked.
Yeah, no, I know.
I
know. It's funny. It's like, I guess, and I don't really know how you handle that, because a camp like that nowadays physically would be frowned upon as maybe being net negative overall, but. And it's not like they ever did that again, right? Like camp after that got progressively easier, just from a purely physical standpoint. But it was but it feels like it was kind of what was needed at the time to kick off the new era. I mean, that team ends up going to the NFC Championship, and then the Peyton Breeze golden era really began. So no, but anybody, I mean, whether you talk to Streif, anybody I've ever talked to about that 06 camp just describes it as basically like a version of hell.
Well, it was funny. So my dad went, and my dad's been a Saints fan his whole life, and he goes to this camp, and they're like, there's someone set up at a booth, out in the concourse, or I don't know, something, and they're trying to like sell season tickets or whatever. My dad's yeah, right. Like, I want to go to a Saints game, I'll just, someone will just give me a ticket. Because at that point, he's like, whatever. If I want to go to a Saints game, I'll just go. And then they had that run. And now, I mean, my dad finally got Saints tickets, but wow, he is paying a lot more for them now than he would have if he had signed up in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, he could have got grandfathered in, but who knew?
Who knew?
At the time, what Sean Payton was going to lead to. And obviously, Roman Harper was a key member of that team. The only thing that we didn't get into, the LSU game being in Tuscaloosa, I certainly understand picking Alabama for that
I mean,
reason.
did you think he was going to say LSU?
Well, yeah, I don't know. You know, again, sometimes.
I mean, I know you want these guys to be objective.
No. But to be clear, though, it's not. While I say it is, like, there's an objective case to be made to pick LSU, all I'm saying is it's not pure homerism.
Right.
It's not to say it's black and white. Mm-hmm. There's an objective case to be made for Alabama, absolutely. And one of the elements would be playing in Tuscaloosa. The only thing that I would say to that is there is a weird quirk in this series where LSU winning in Baton Rouge is actually the far more rare occurrence. Like, for some reason.
Do you know what the?
Well, the overall record's awful, right? Because Alabama kicked your ass for so long in multiple eras. But there are some weird numbers around when LSU does win. It actually normally comes in Tuscaloosa. It's not like that was the first time they won in Baton Rouge since 2010, the game that I was a part of. So, yeah, it took over a decade before you got back there again. But we'll see.
Where did someone said in here Roman was a great high school quarterback? Where did he go to high school? Do you know?
I do not know.
That's cool.
I do not know. Did he grow up in Alabama? I actually don't know. That's
I don't know
question.
either. Yeah.
But like Jake said, Prattville says mine not for rent. But like Jake said yesterday, Roman a part of one of those really underrated Alabama teams pre-Nick Saban that just completely gets lost. How about this? If Alabama doesn't win the national championship this year, it'll be the first time in the Saban era they've gone 3 years without winning a natty. Just to give you an idea of how good they are.
It's going to keep getting madder and madder.
I think there's just too much real estate. The Tide have too much real estate in my head. I'm not counting them out by any means. Also, like, the computers all love them. All the analytical models have them right behind Georgia as the best team in the country. Last year they finished second overall in the S&P Plus. Just the 2 ways which they lost, like, knocked them down. I know it doesn't make sense because they're replacing both coordinators. Like, how do you get better if you get rid of Bryce Young and Will Anderson? But Nick Saban had some fascinating comments yesterday where he was talking about how he felt like he applied too much pressure to last year's team and that it led to mental mistakes in the big moments because guys were too tight. And this is the exact same thing that Will Anderson actually was very honest about at the Combine. And what's interesting to me about that is I remember even back in like 2011 talking to Alabama players after I got done, and Nick Saban was so ahead of the curve combating that. Like, they used to have military special forces people come in and talk to them about, okay, how do you get your mind ready to perform when it matters, right? So when you're in the actual moment, it doesn't become too big, and you kind of fall back on your training and just do what you know how to do. So I feel like he's been an expert at dealing with that for over a decade now, and then so to hear that last year, he feels like that's one of the main problems. It just shows that.
Is he losing it?
No, I think that it's always I think it's more of a.
Or do you think people.
I think they just focused too much on their stars last year.
Or things are evolving as well, though, in the way that you deal. I mean, do you think the way that he dealt with the teams 10 years ago? I mean, students have evolved, people have evolved. Like, what people need is different.
That's true. That is very true.
Like I mean, not to say. I mean, I want to sound like an old timer, but you know what the kids need these days is not the same as what we needed.
I mean, even talking to Josh Williams the other day off air, we were talking about going from Tommy Moffitt to Jake Flint, and Tommy Moffitt was the best string quarter in the country for about 2 decades, easily. Like, not even close. Go look at his resume.
Tough.
Look at everybody put in the NFL. But it was a little more old school. And then you hear about Flint, and everything is like so. Like, they don't run 110s. They don't do all these things. Everything is so scientific. But the thing is, I think Alabama's kind of there as well. I just think that you had a situation where they got so obsessed with trying to maximize their stars that it became a bit net negative. You talked about it offensively. They became too Bryce-centric, too pass. And then I think last year they felt like, we have all these guys. We have to win, maybe even more so than normal, and ended up going awry. So
how weird is this? So this year coming up, last year that we'll play you guys for a little while, I guess.
I know. It's
LSU and Alabama.
I know.
We don't have either of you.
And it's a team that LSU's played more than any other in its
wild
history. All right, when we get back, keep it locked right here on OTB. We got Coach Cutcliffe coming up next. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green. This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Our final day from Radio Row, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Tennessee take the big stage. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing, All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, day number 4 here in Nashville. And we got to do this last year. We're going to do it again right now. It is our distinct pleasure to welcome in one of the legends of college football coaching, quarterback training, and offensive theory. That's Coach David Cutcliffe. Now, kind of like a little Dwight Schrute stuff here, special assistant to Commissioner Sankey for football relations. Coach, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Well, I relate to the Dwight Schrute thing. I'm really trying to see if I can get a camera crew to follow me around so I can look off to the side and make a comment, you know. And I need Mose following me around.
Exactly, dude. Okay, wow, look, and noted Office fan. All right, Coach, I see you, bro.
Well, you know what? The elliptical, I can't run on the road anymore because of my back.
Yep.
The elliptical, I never got to watch TV. I knew I liked The Office. So I go season 1, episode 1, go all the way through.
No way.
On the elliptical.
While working out?
Yeah.
Yeah, while working out on the elliptical, dude. Yeah, hitting a little. I mean, hey, elliptical's great on the knees. For us big guys, you need some lighter on the joints. There you go. You're good to go.
Yeah, age has not been so kind to my back. So it is what it is.
Well, you look great. Riv said she saw you putting up shots the other day, looking good. How about this, Coach? What does a special assistant to the commissioner do?
You know, what was great is I never got a job description. So I have carved it out myself. You know, it's all football relations. Relations is short for relationships. Mm-hmm. So I've gone in all of our schools multiple times. I go into the football building. I don't go straight to the head coach's office. I go to the equipment room. I go to the training room.
There you go.
Yep.
I go all of the places where you feel the heartbeat of the program.
That's right.
And I ask those folks, tell me what's good, tell me what's not so good. It's the key connection to the players. How are the players feeling about things? They know. And then certainly I'm going to visit with the assistant coaches and the head coach. So I'm just available. And then I take feedback back to the commissioner. I also I'm learning, because as a coach, you always are wondering, well, why are we doing this? Or why,
sure.
I'm learning the other side and how difficult some of the things are to repair.
So when you okay, yeah.
So I can go to the coach and say, Coach, wait a minute. Now, slow down.
This is why we had to do this.
This is what's happening, and maybe silence is golden. Let's give this some time to see.
So okay, so you're kind of like you're kind of like the perfect bridge between helping. You're learning to speak both those languages.
Yeah, and
you obviously were fluent in coaching and now administration.
He
coming
called
as well.
me, yes, and he called me, back, and I had no desire to do this. I was really thinking about going the NFL route, and was leaning in that direction and had some offers. But I have such a deep love, and my life has been spent in college football.
Yeah, sir.
He explained why he felt like a coach in that niche could make a difference. I flew to Birmingham, met the staff, was really impressed by the people that he has surrounded himself with, and I felt like the mission was more important for whatever.
Yeah. Coach, when you look at this conference, obviously you were in this conference for a long time, and it's been the best conference, and we're biased. We all, have been around the conference. It's the best one in college football. Are you surprised how it just continues to grow, though? Even with it being the best, it never just rests on its laurels. It continues to get better, add teams that make sense, and now look at, we're in Nashville with all this media day, 4 days where everybody, it feels like in the country, is paying attention to the SEC.
It is amazing here. Nashville's done a great job. This hotel's done a great job. But you all as a media, I'm watching how hard you work. And I'm not blowing smoke up there now. I'm serious. It has been an entourage, well organized. It just means more for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is you all. You do such a great job of delivering everything that's happening to the public, to the fan base.
Coach, one thing that kind of shocks me about the SEC right now, and it's only going to get crazier next year, is it seems like there's just so many quality coaches in the league right now and quality programs. And the thing is, though, there's only so much oxygen in the room, right? And it's like you look at the SEC West, all 7 teams are on Bill Conley's top 30.
Yeah.
We're like analytically, right? And yet somebody's going to have to finish like 2-6 or what. And have you ever seen such a collection of coaches in one conference at one time?
No, I mean it is the balance and the jobs being done. And fortunately, see, I get to go. And this past spring, I went to all 14 SEC school spring practices.
Oh wow, yeah.
I went to Texas and Oklahoma spring practices because that's going to happen faster. We're going to actually have a meeting about expansion because it's going to jump at you. You got to be ready.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So it's the job, the coaching jobs, the quality of the players, the energy surrounding each program, the recruiting that's going on at every one of these programs is at the highest level it's ever been. You got to remember, I was around the last expansion in '92. I'd been in the SEC a while, and we were like, oh, man, wow, how are we going to get through this? Well, think about what has happened. For those of you panicking about 16, just whoa.
Right.
You know, you got the hat on, say whoa to that horse.
Come on now, everybody, just stay calm there. Come on now.
Well, Coach, you mentioned being in Oklahoma and Texas, and we know those programs. I mean, we've seen games in those venues, but being around there, being at spring practice, like those feel like SEC schools to me. I know a lot of conferences are adding teams just to add teams and TV markets. Those teams to me, though, they feel like they'll fit the conference and it will be an easy transition, just from my viewpoint.
Well, it's also a pretty solid footprint. When you have A&M, you got Baton Rouge. This past spring, it was kind of obvious for me as I'm planning my schedule. I'm going to Baton Rouge. I'm going to A&M. I'm going to Austin. I'm going to Norman. And then it's not that far to Arkansas and Missouri.
Right.
And there's a real footprint that is established. I don't love, and I shouldn't say anything about another conference, but if I'm coaching at the Far East and the Far West, traveling for conference games like
Coach,
that,
I'll say it for you so you don't have to. At least all of our schools, they touch each other as far as the states are connected some way, somehow. All of the teams can say they've got like a bordering team that they can play, and you're not taking flights through 3 different time zones to play a conference game.
And what's that called? Contiguous, boys.
It is. We learned that last year.
Yep,
I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
there we go.
You know, and you can, it's tedious, but you can drive it. Actually, if you want to. But you said those things started about they look like an SEC school. Well, they do on the practice field. They look like that.
And that's
I'm
what
walking around the facility eating lunch with the players. They talk about championships. Expectation. So, you go to LSU, and if you don't understand the expectations, you're going to fail. Is that a little stressful? Sure. But you got to have big shoulders, and you have to have the ability to play in the SEC.
So obviously your depth of understanding when it comes to the requirements, what it takes to be a successful head coach in college football, far surpasses 99.9% of human beings. What do you see when you look at Brian Kelly and what he's building in Baton Rouge?
That's a great question. One of the things about Coach Kelly is that he's a smart man.
Yeah.
He's an intellectual. I sit in his office with him, and obviously most of the talk is about football, but other things that you connect with him and you feel that and you sense that. I'm going to say this publicly, and I think it's certainly okay. And I've told him, I watch him practice, and I think the standards that are expected of the players in quality of the speed of work and the attention to detail is outstanding without bashing them. That's one of the harder transitions for us that have coached a while. You can't go bang heads, but you have to practice at a speed that you're getting better. The game can't be faster than you practice. And I told him, I said, that was an art, Coach. That was incredible what y'all got done today, and without having to bash him. And he's maybe done that. Yeah. And I think that's the intellectual part. You have to study that, think about that. You have to demand, and everybody has to be on the same page. I left there fired up, to be honest with you.
Coach, I was at a practice for LSU. It probably would have been last training camp, so still Brian Kelly's first year, and they didn't have pads on. And he stopped the practice because guys were on the ground, guys were trying to do too much. He stopped the entire practice, brought the entire team up and said, we can't practice like this. We are getting worse today, not better. If we're not going to have pads on, there's things that we have to get done without pads on, and then when the pads come on, there's another set of things that we have to get done. I had never really seen a coach stop a practice like that because the guys were trying to do things that they shouldn't be doing without pads on.
Well, and that's where injuries occur, and that day I was there was a little bit of that commentary in meetings before, because this is our standard.
Right.
And if you're a good enough athlete, you can practice fast, keep your feet, take care of your teammate. Nobody's trying to make All-American that day. If you want to compete for a position, put those pads on and show me in a scrimmage, right?
Yep.
So I was really impressed, and I just think he's made a study of it, and it doesn't surprise me.
Coach, what does a college football Saturday look for you nowadays? What do you got going on?
Well, the first thing I did last fall was I wanted to sit in the replay room without participating. I didn't want any of our coaches to think.
Oh, wow, like the Birmingham offense?
Yes.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, but I wanted to have knowledge of what was going on.
Yeah.
And I was blown away how professional. It's hard.
Yeah.
And there were just screens everywhere and gentlemen that are focused on that game. And then John McDade is a pretty amazing man. He's overseeing the thing. But I know fans quickly go to officiating when you lose a game. You know, I'm blown away. His training, his grading, the commitment of these men. It's not fun to be an official right now because everybody is scrutinizing officials over and over. And we're having a hard time, quite frankly, getting people interested in doing it.
Yeah, on the lower levels for sure.
Yes, and like my son's a high school coach, and he's struggling with the officiating at that level at times. But I would love to see us, if we would take all levels of football and use player safety as a guideline, every league should play the same rules. Now we have officials we're developing in junior high, in high school, on to college, and then, you can be.
That's a good
that
point.
makes too much sense, and all these high school associations fight that.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's just do this better.
Yeah, I agree.
I remember being in high school, and I'm from Louisiana, Shreveport, right on the border of Texas as well. We would go play a team in Texas, and they have a completely different set of rules.
College rules now in Texas.
Yeah, so they could cut block and do different things, T-Bob, and we'd have to agree on how we were going to officiate the game.
I don't think I actually wasn't even aware of that, man.
But I just think, and I have been kind of lobbying for that. And again, I don't understand why anybody would fight that.
What else, Coach, and we'll let you get out of here because I know you got to go, but what else, we're kind of talking off air a little bit about, because these are just wild, unprecedented, fabric-changing times for college football. What else are you lobbying for when it comes to these players?
Well, I think the commissioner gave a blueprint. I don't know if y'all have seen that transcript or the video or got to hear him. On Monday here, he addressed it. He gave us all a blueprint. Here's what I'm lobbying for. I want people to understand what's trying to happen. We're wanting to make things better for our players, all players. We're trying to make things better, and remember, all athletes. We don't need to see players being bought or attracted out of high school for money.
Right.
We don't certainly need to see players attracted off of one team going to another for the purposes of money. There's a value system that has always been in play in playing football at high levels. The best thing, here's what I'm lobbying for, and I talk to players everywhere about this. The best thing that can ever be said about a former player is not, hey, man, you were an All-American. No. It's when somebody comes up to you years later and say, you were the best teammate I ever had.
Yeah.
We can't lose that.
No.
And I've told players everywhere, be the best teammate on the team.
Yeah.
And you'll be a happy football player. You lose some of that inward self-focus, and you start thinking about others. And by the way, it's not a bad way to live your life.
Yeah, no, exactly,
And
right.
so,
A good
yeah,
guiding light.
the great players I've been around have focused on that.
So I think Coach just said basically every player needs to be a fullback.
Yeah, okay, that feels a little self-serving.
You know what,
No.
Coach,
Hey,
Coach
right?
Vogt used to tell me this. He didn't understand the new rules because he would sign 50 players. He would get on to me every signing date. I always had him come in and have lunch with me. David, I told you need to sign 25 fullbacks.
That's right.
They will be great players. They will be guards. They will be linebackers. They were unselfish. Yes, sir. I'll do it next year, Coach.
That's right.
Oh,
See?
man, there you go. Some wisdom, some great advice we can all take in from the legend, Coach David Cutcliffe. Coach, thank you so much for joining us this morning, man.
Thanks, Coach. I always appreciate your time.
Back with more OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,500 off MSRP on all new 23 Ram 1500 Laramie trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Up spills quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Refresh your ride at O'Reilly Auto Parts with the new Art of Car Care line from Turtle Wax and LA street artist Mr. Cartoon. Whether it's a detailer to give your paint that extra shine or wheel and tire products to keep them spinning in style. Plus, get 2 times O-Rewards points. Get Turtle Wax and Mr. Cartoon's The Art of Car Care exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
There. Okay.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Rejuve Medical, RejuveMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me for all of your anti-aging needs. You want to feel younger, stronger, faster, just feel better. You want to go to Rejuve me. Look, check it out, y'all. It doesn't. I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50, male, female. They can put together a plan for you to help you feel like your best self. They have a ton of different treatments: HRT, metabolization, optimization, Botox, all the latest and greatest. Go in there, get your free consultation, get your labs drawn, okay? Kind of understand what's going on inside your body, and then let Rejuve Medical get you to where you want to be. Restore me, refuel me, Rejuve me. Now open in Shreveport, as well as Baton Rouge, Metairie, and Slidell. The absolute best. If you feel like your best self, come on, it's not a big deal. It's fun. Feel good. Feel young. Rejuve Medical.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like Hudco, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, July 20th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the SEC Media Days in Nashville, starts now.
Let we go. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Oh, man. OTB, hour number 3, day 4 of Nashville. There's a couple different Coach O videos making the rounds today. One of him risen some young ladies up at the beach with his fiance looking absolutely jacked. And look, here he is, I think, at Miami Swim Week, Jake, with a front row to the Miami Swim Week fashion show. One of the models posting a TikTok of whipping out his phone to film her strutting by.
That man wants to go coach Northwestern in Chicago
Yeah. Get the hell out of here, dude. Okay. No way, dude. Absolutely no way. Living his absolute best life. Shout out Ed Ogeron. Started to pick up a little bit today. Lane Kiffin and company about to hit the podium. I think it starts with Lane Kiffin, then you're going to have Shane Beamer, South Carolina, and finally finish with Josh Heupel and Tennessee. Okay, Jake, if Ole Miss is going to be good, and you had Ole Miss ahead of A&M, you had Ole Miss third in the West, what is going to be the difference between them finishing, because last year 7-0 to then with the 6 So you think Pete Golding is the difference to stop the collapse this time?
He's either going to be the difference one way or the other. And I've got a little faith in him because I do think that he's learned a lot, obviously, under Nick Saban. But I think that when you get away, you're going to have two options, right? And I think he's going to choose the option to be aggressive, to be someone that thrives in that situation. Defensively, are they going to be, top 3 in the SEC? No, but they just got to be better. Because offensively, you have quarterbacks you feel good about, whoever wins the job. You've got receivers coming from different places you feel good about. You feel outstanding about your running back. You feel really good about your tight ends as well. Then, just be halfway better on defense. And so last year they were there. They couldn't finish it. I think remember, they beat Texas A&M after that LSU loss. But after that, just a free fall for them. So I do think if they're just a little better on defense, we're talking about them, being the third best team potentially in the West.
And look, Kiffin is someone who has always had some interesting sound bites normally at these things, as he's willing to dive into some things. He's willing to talk about. Well, I don't know. I'm just interested what he's going to say on NIL today. He's been one of the big salary cap guys, which, again, is a statement that feels like it makes sense but doesn't actually make sense, because salary cap would mean the money is coming from the institution. You can't salary cap advertising, so whatever. But I'm sure that he'll be talking more about that. He'll have to answer questions about losing the Egg Bowl last year. He'll have to answer questions about the total collapse and how they're going to look to avoid it this year. And then a ton of Jackson Dart questions, which, everything I've heard, Jake, is that Jackson Dart's going to be the starter. Have you heard anything to the opposite?
Nope. And remember, Spencer Sanders was somebody that missed a lot of time because he had an injury coming in to Ole Miss. And so I don't think that you saw him full strength. Him going there was a weird choice because of Jackson Dart. And then even, more odd, Walker Howard. But I think Jackson Dart, he was the guy last year, and he's a guy that Lane obviously knows very well, and he is someone that I think you can win with. Now, what is a positive for Ole Miss is if it's not, they do have other options.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Spencer Sanders is a veteran quarterback who's been there before, so if you have to insert him because of injury or because of bad play, I think he can handle that situation. But I'm just like you. Everybody that we talk with has any ties to Ole Miss. Say Jackson Dart's not only the guy, but he's been thriving in this competition, which is good. When you bring in competition, and maybe that's why they do it. Bring in some other guys. Let's see if it pushes our guy, because Macho Man said it best: the cream does rise to the top, and so sometimes competition makes you play your best.
Yeah, I agree. Same.
You were kind of like that, right?
Yeah, no, I never entered camp as a starter,
and you wouldn't want a job.
Starting 3 years, so yeah, you got. So you can't count these things out. It's not a whole. Even Jaden Daniels, like Brian Kelly said, Jaden Daniels is the starter, but it's not like he can just go out there and sleepwalk through camp. Like, he has to have a good camp and just continue to hold that title of starter. Jackson Dart's elite travel ball name. Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with
with
that
an X,
for sure.
No doubt.
As far as South Carolina goes, I'm going to be, bringing a quarterback always means you're in a better spot than most. We mentioned bringing a punter, most Shane Beamer move possible. But yeah, I'm just excited to see Beamer kind of pump up the people again, because every time that man talks, he makes. And when was it? So 2 years ago, what did they finish? 6 and 7? Was that the year when they didn't have a quarterback?
No, I think they actually had I think they finished with a 7-6 record, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
either way,
I'm trying to remember, because
it's when Zeb Nolan was the GA who turned into their starting quarterback.
Yes. I'm just saying that Shane Beamer has done a lot with a little. Now it feels like, and getting Spencer Rattler back the way in which they fit. Okay, yeah. So look, 7-6 in year one in South Carolina without a quarterback, and then to 8-5 in year two, finishing with 2 massive wins
on a heater.
On an absolute heater. And so, like, maybe no East team has as much positive momentum in terms of where they were to where they're going. Oh, I guess Tennessee would probably be the only one that maybe surpassed them. But South Carolina is hot as anybody in the East coming in.
I would agree with that. And I also – now, they did lose some transfers that were surprising. Jordan Birch, remember him, LSU recruiting. He goes to Oregon. Marshawn Lloyd goes to your team, Southern Cal.
Yep.
You have your top tight end, who is kind of your jack of all trades, and he goes to Florida State. But they did do a nice job of getting Trey Knox from Arkansas. That's a big get for them. And they did some nice things in the portal. I was surprised again, though, that they lost some of the players that they lost because everybody loves Shane because of that momentum. But they did lose a couple of really key guys, and I don't know that they replaced them, but they do have Spencer Rattler playing like he did for the last 2 games. And so it's been an off-season of just kind of okay movement for them.
Yeah.
But I thought, actually, to be honest with you, I thought they would have some big movement. I thought they would, because of the way they finished, I thought, okay, they're going to bring in some dogs in the portal.
Surprising. Is that an NIL thing? Do they not have the buy-in?
I guess. Jaheim Bell, who went to Florida State, he was their tight end / running back. He was all over. Like, they let him do it basically whatever he wanted. He was so versatile for that team. Now, you get a new offensive coordinator, so maybe I mean, your leading rusher goes to USC. Like, it's just surprising. It's just surprising that, like, Jordan Birch, you lost him. He's never really lived up to the hype. I mean, he was like top player in the country hype, and he's been a okay player. He hasn't been great, but to lose two guys like that on offense, even though you're bringing in a new coordinator, that one was a little bit of a head scratcher.
And then there's Tennessee coming up today to end this thing. Josh Heupel here in Tennessee. That makes a lot of sense. Joe Milton coming, which, again, I think is a good sign for them. One thing about Tennessee last year, Jake, they're really good at their defensive line. I don't know that there was anybody that was overwhelmingly intimidating, but they played a ton of him.
Yeah.
And I think they finished like second in the conference in run defense. They certainly ran the ball offensively very well. We always just talk quarterback when it comes to Heupel in Tennessee. Like, but do you think that defense can be as good? Do you think they'll be as good in the trenches this year? They are bringing Amari Thomas, one of those like 12 D linemen they used to play last season. But how do you view Tennessee when it comes to the lines?
I do think playing a lot of people last year is going to be beneficial for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of those things where you play a bunch of people and you get a bunch coming back, and you got guys with experience, and you kind of hone in when you're trying to figure out, who you can count on. And so I do think you're going to have a lot of people that you can count on. And you and I have talked about Tim Banks, their defensive coordinator, before. I think he's a really good football coach. He's been in it for a long time now, and he is somebody that is going to, he's going to have an aggression, but also, like, he understands how to play with Josh Heupel's offense, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like, he knows when to choose and pick his points there, because you do have to know. Like, you do have to complement each other when you play a style like Heupel does. And you got to get a guy that understands that. Because if you get a guy that is not in cohesion with that offensive staff, like, you're talking about doomsday scenario, right? And Dave Aranda had to kind of adjust to that in 2019.
Yep.
Like, Dave had to adjust to it. Like, he wasn't really – like, he's coming from Wisconsin and then old school LSU, and then all of a sudden, like – now, there wasn't many, but if there's a 3-and-out for that offense in 2019, I remember them playing at Texas. What was it, second week of the season that year? And LSU's out there on offense, and Texas had some success right before the series before, and Dave's calling everybody over. He gets the entire defense. They all sit around the whiteboard, and he gets the marker out. He opens the marker, pops it, right?
Yeah.
And then 3-and-out. And they go, defense alert. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he was getting everybody ready to make adjustments.
Yeah,
he pops the marker over, like, defense alert. It's
and
like,
then they back up. Very
so
rare that year.
you've got to learn, and they did, obviously, and that defense got better and better each and every game. But you have to have somebody that understands that. And so some of that is, too, like, you're talking about playing all the defensive alignments, because, like, you might be put right back out there if the offense goes 3-and-out. So I think they'll be okay. I've got some questions at the back end on Tennessee's defense. The front seven's okay. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's great. I wouldn't say it's bad. I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle of the road.
Well, look, when we get back here, day 4 SEC Media Days, there's some other college football stories, maybe not even in the SEC, that I do want to touch on. Also, it seems like Oklahoma is the latest fan base that is coming after me. But once again, just absolutely proving the exact thing that I am accusing them of. We'll get into it next here on OTB.
OTB, OT, OTB, OT.
I want to remind you to go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyota of batonrouge.com. New, used, you want a Toyota Sienna, maybe a Tundra, Tacoma, whatever it is, RAV4, you want a hybrid, Highlander. Like, look, whatever you and your family needs, man, All-Star Toyota has it. They got the selection, and if they don't have it on site, they can custom order it for you. In fact, you can use All-Star Toyota Express. You can actually custom order a vehicle right there on the website. I mean, how about that? But chances are you probably want to go in, right? You want to talk to Aaron Peak with the incredible staff over there. And once you do and you find your answers, you're going to realize how nice it is to be in the All-Star ecosystem. Tommy Wagsback in the service department, undefeated. So what are you waiting for? Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge today.
Go customize that new vehicle on the website T-Bob just gave you. You can put all the things that you want, or you can take all the things that you want off of the car when you customize it with All-Star. Go to the website allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCoRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
Henniger, join us for the next edition of Live at Lunch from Louis Cafe just off the LSU campus. We'll be wrapping up SEC Media Days with Jacob Hester, and Matt Human stops by as well. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I wish I would have met you anywhere but where I did. Some old high-rise town that I won't ever go again. I wish we would have rolled around some old cab and chased them city lights. Hit bars I don't like. We were listening to one more silver dollar, hanging out by Silverado down the road I love to ride.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by HUDCO Roofing. OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Just saw got Josh Pate in the bathroom in the stall. Whoa, ribs almost fell completely over.
My life just flashed
clumsy in the
before
past,
my
but that would have been an
eyes.
all-time bad one right there.
I almost took the camera out, probably.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely fantastic.
Maybe taking some of their equipment
out. Yeah, just saw Pate in the bathroom. He told me I was very hot. It's the first time I've ever been told that in a stall next to another man, so that was kind of enjoyable.
Didn't he say something about everybody being hot yesterday?
Yeah,
he's using that a lot. He's throwing hot around a lot.
Okay, well, now it feels a little less then. You know, it felt a little better when I thought it was maybe unique to me, so thank you for kind of stepping on that immediately after I got all – thank you for immediately crushing whatever modicum of self-confidence I gained from the compliment. But I think Pate's going to come by here in about 20 minutes. Before the break, no, man, look.
I like that you asked him to come on the show while you're also talking about each other being hot while using the restroom.
Yeah, dude. I mean, hey, what are you going to do? It's something about the cherubic face and those beautiful blue eyes, dude.
Networking, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do it. That's called net pissing, you know, and sometimes you got to cross those streams. And,
well, they said
exactly
Ghostbusters never to cross the streams.
What we did, man.
Well, we did.
Here's, I don't know, man. Okay, so Oklahoma. These fans are mad at me because I said that Oklahoma is a program that never would have thought that they could have gotten a top 5 coach poach from them, right? You look at what happened to Oklahoma when they left. You look what happened to USC when Lincoln Riley got there. I also pushed back against the idea that Brent Venables, you know, talking about what a bad culture Brent Venables took over, because that's what Brent Venables has been basically out there saying, right? And that's the problem, that they're having to rebuild the culture. And look, I know Oklahoma is a gymnastics school, and so they were well prepared for the mental gymnastics to try to talk themselves into Brent Venables. But right now, I've got them all over me, dude, and all they're talking about is how bad the culture was under Lincoln Riley, how awful it was. Here's this guy. Nobody thought one of those guys. Here it is. Lincoln Riley's culture was rotten to the core. His culture was kids getting arrested for armed robbery, some players not going to workouts, an offensive lineman that couldn't bench 300 pounds. He disguised his problems with Heisman QBs and talk about how close we were to winning. Okay, well, again, see, that right there, guys, that's the mental gymnastics I'm talking about. He disguised his problem with Heisman quarterbacks? What? You are like, what? Like, it's just easy to win a Heisman? It's bad. You could be a part of a bad team but still just have a Heisman. Like, what are you talking about? You can't just disguise bad culture with a Heisman. If you're creating a Heisman quarterback and you're winning games and going to playoffs, chances are that culture's pretty damn good, used to winning. But like everything that I'm getting, and granted, this is what you do when you lose someone and you're hurt. This is how you rationalize it. When someone breaks up with you and gets a new hot girlfriend that's better than you, is you try to highlight all the negatives. But man, all these guys you are just trying to sit here and tell me that Lincoln Riley is a bad coach and tell me that Brent Venables is a good head coach when the raw evidence would point to nothing that would say that.
I think Lincoln Riley is one of the 8 best coaches, 5 best coaches,
he's definitely
whatever,
top 10.
Whatever number you want to put
top
on
5
it.
is maybe
top 5. He's on the edge of it.
Argue.
I think he is somebody that is incredibly innovative offensively. Now, he's loyal to a fault, and that's why he's not in the top 3. But yeah, to really say all those things about him, you're reaching, you're hoping, you're desperate. You are just feeling the pain of the hot girl who's now found somebody that is just hotter than you right now. You know what I'm saying? So Brent Venables hasn't ever done it. So like he's been a great defensive coordinator. He's never been a head coach, and so like that also probably pains them. They don't have something they can fall back on. You know what I mean? Like if he was just having a bad year, like but what he did at Rutgers or wherever you can fall back on that. You don't have anything. Like you have nothing. He's been a great defensive coordinator. That does not mean you'll be a great head coach. And then the person that left you, we know is a great head coach. So yeah, they're reeling in it right now.
Yeah, and they're all.
I'm sure the guy just passed us would love to tell us about how Oklahoma is just not having a great time right now.
Yeah, Bill Lucci walking by just now. Shout out Texas A&M. What is this right here? Look at Riley's career. How many of his players and foreign players have been arrested? Riley's not a culture builder. He lets kids do whatever they want. They don't learn to be men. That's why there are less than 15 players from Riley's classes still on scholarship at LSU. Who the F is T-Bob? Why does inaccurate and lousy statement matter?
I hate the who is T-Bob Hebert. Like
how some of these
somebody that gets paid to do this.
A platform still baffles everyone's in store. Well, I mean, obviously, like their anger is only juicing me up in the eyes of the bosses. It's great. Yeah. It's just funny because, again, in their effort to prove me wrong, they're proving exactly what I'm saying, which is the unbelievable lengths they are going to rationalize and explain how badly it hurts to lose what they had. OU was getting incredibly soft under Riley, and if you look at USC, they get beat by Utah and Tulane because their defense is Charmin soft.
No, I do agree that their defense is horrid.
Yeah, nobody ever said Lincoln Riley had a good defense.
That's his thing. He's loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
That's his problem. Like Alex Grinch right now has not figured it out. He is 106th in total defense. So that's why Lincoln doesn't have 2 national championships right now. Now, some of that's because, also the size of the player. Like I always talk about, I was shocked how small Oklahoma was in that semifinal game against LSU. But, that's the knock. And it's been a knock on Dabo over the last couple of years. And then he's like, you know what? I can't do that anymore. Garrett Riley, I got to bring you in. Sorry. Hey, old bull.
Yeah,
go,
get
man.
out of here.
Gotta
go. Eric Knockwood on Twitter points this out pretty interesting. Roman Harper had such a weird football career. He played for Alabama, who's historically great with many championships, doesn't win any championships while he's there. Then he gets drafted to the Saints, who are historically awful for over 40 years, and he ends up winning a Super Bowl with them. That is true. Like, if you're going to tell me you're going to go to Alabama and New Orleans, the place from which you win the championship is generally not the New Orleans part of that equation. What do you think about these black Colts helmets, dude? I don't know about this.
You don't know about that. They got one of the best helmets out there, just with their white lids. I don't know about that one. T, give me something that before we got here you were kind of certain about, good, better, and different, and now being here 4 days, you've kind of changed your mind.
Let me think.
One of mine, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, give me a start here.
I think one of mine in the West would be Mississippi State. I think it's kind of a little bit of a lazy take to just assume they're going to finish 7th in the SEC.
Yeah.
And I think you need to do a dive into the team and who they have coming back. The philosophy change scares you a little bit. I get that. So that's probably, I would say that in the West, and I'd say over in the East, I think just kind of looking at Kentucky's roster and looking at who they have in that room and looking at Ray Davis a little bit closer, I think I changed, because I probably would have had them 3 before we got here, and now I think I got them 2 ahead of Tennessee.
Yeah, it does feel like Kentucky's been one of the fast risers this week.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's just something in the air when it comes to Kentucky. I mean, one thing that I don't love is the closer we get to it, the better I think Alabama's going to be. I know, again, I know that it sounds odd for all the reasons that we've talked about, but Saban seemed very comfortable, very confident with the team he's bringing to bear. Again, you think about last season, and it's like, well, how are you going to get better losing Bryce Young and Will Anderson? But maybe you don't have to get better, but you could still end up having a better year. Because, like we talked about, that team still finished 2nd in the country in, S&P Plus. Like they had national championship analytics, but they did find ways to lose 2 very important games, right? So maybe this is a team that well, and here's the other thing about Alabama that I kind of have been coming around to a little bit this week. Like when Nick Saban talks about how they had become too Bryce heavy, that maybe Bill O'Brien was putting his thumb on the scale for trying to make Bryce Young work. And then you hear Saban talking about how he thinks they applied too much pressure to the expectation to the national championship last year because they had Bryce Young and Will Anderson. They felt like we have to take advantage of this has to be the year. And so in a weird way, again, I don't know if these stats, I don't know if you will statistically be better, but you could potentially be a better overall team without this season for Alabama. I mean, if quarterback actually comes to pass, which, I don't know. They, like Nick Saban said, they're baking a cake right now. The cake's in the oven. It's all 3 guys. Nobody's separated themselves yet. I think Simpson probably emerged. I think I'd have a package for Milroe. So a lot of it's going to depend on that. But, we've seen them, right? Did Blake Sims win a natty? when he was starting quarterback? I mean, we've seen Jake Coker won one.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen guys that you would not expect, like, that aren't their best quarterbacks, that are the ones that have actually ended up lifting that trophy at the end. And
they have, but college football was still in its transition period then.
That's true.
It was early in the transition period, but it was still transitioning to what offensively we know it to be now. It's almost impossible to win a championship without not only a good quarterback, but almost an elite quarterback. Like, it's really, really, really difficult. Like, when we take a look at some of the teams that have done it, and Mac Jones, Mac Jones is still a first-round pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't just a guy. Like, Mac Jones was a first-round selection. He is somebody that was certainly more than just a good quarterback. And so when you take a look at who's done it recently, I mean, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, right? I mean, those are elite quarterbacks. And last year, like, say what you want about Stetson, you said it the other day. You go look at, like, a L.A. Rams report.
Yeah, they love
crushing
Stetson right now. There's a lot of Stetson hype in the NFL, funnily enough. And to the point where, now this is not exactly why the Rams were exploring trading Matt Stafford. They mainly want that contract off the books, but the Rams have been shopping Matt Stafford around. Like, and again, Stetson's a gamer, man. We don't know if the new guy, if Carson Beck is going to be or not. One thing I will say, we mentioned if Florida loses again this year, Jacob, they got a losing record. It's the first time since 55 through 57 that would happen 3 years in a row. If Alabama does not win the national championship this year, that'll be the first time in the Saban era they've gone 3 years without a natty.
How dare
Which,
them.
I mean, like, what? Just to give you an idea of how. And also remember, one of the craziest Nick Saban stats that is out there is that whether it's LSU or Alabama, if you committed to Nick Saban since 2000, if you committed to him and stayed for 4 years, you left with at least one national championship ring. So a lot on the line for the Tide. But I guess I'm coming around and feeling a bit more bullish on them than I was at the beginning of the week.
Their 3-game gap in their schedule is Tennessee, LSU, at Kentucky. That's their stretch. And then a bye week between Tennessee and LSU.
Yeah.
That's their stretch. That's going to be are they national championship contenders, or are they another 10-win solid season? Because you've got two teams in Tennessee and LSU that beat you a year ago, and you know this, T, it's always the game after the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we fell to it in 2007 going on the road to Kentucky after the Florida game. It's the game after the game. So LSU, if you win that one in a close battle, physical football game, then you go on the road to a team that has enough talent to beat you, that's where you got to pay attention.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. Coming up next, more from day 4 here. I think Pate's going to come by maybe in about 10 minutes. We'll see, but you can keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Here at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we have in stock 2023 Toyota Tundras, and you can get $1,000 special edition bonus cash. $1,000 bonus cash. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Rev Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore and down the bayou to the coast, all to connect your business with the world. Rev is about big business technology with small business personal service, powerful solutions, unmatched local service. Rev Business.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We'll hear from Ole Miss, South Carolina, and the Tennessee Vols. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Just like they say, I talk just like and they say these scuffed up boots look as good on me as they did on you.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. OTB, OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Wonder what you think about that if you
Welcome back, day 4 of SEC Media Days. Wrapping up, the boys almost done. We're about 30 minutes away. Huge thank you to Rev Business and Relief Windows, as well as Hudco Roofing for bringing us here, bringing you all the coverage live from SEC Media Days. You can find it all at youtube.com/1045ESPN. Also, youtube.com. Just subscribe to both the OTB Saints and OTB LSU channel. I am excited to get home. Certainly missing the family. It's been great, though. Nashville's awesome. Very cool city. Hotel's been great. Nothing but positive things to say about the hospitality that we've been shown. Jake, this has nothing to do with the SEC. Have you seen this Sam Hartman story?
About him getting
a
piece of his rib, and his mom is using it as a necklace, right?
Yeah, so apparently Sam Hartman's rib one of his ribs was surgically removed last August.
Oh, Marilyn Manson.
I was going to say, unlike Marilyn Manson, this is confirmed. The Marilyn Manson thing, according to the Marilyn Manson biography, which I remember reading back in the day, was
I don't want to go off.
Not confirmed.
I don't want to go off on that, but it is funny how I heard that rumor in Shreveport. Rivers heard it in Starkville. You heard it in Atlanta.
Yeah,
all
everybody heard it.
It was just, how did we, but that was like before the internet.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
How did we know that?
That still happened.
Game of telephone.
That happened. Just a little,
but how did that rumor start?
That's what I'm saying. A little game of telephone. I don't know.
I don't know how
it's like not quite the Mandela effect, like where like we all think something is one way,
yeah,
and
like
it
the
actually
thing.
Well, Berenstain?
I know.
What?
I know.
Anyways, but it
Shocking.
is something. It's like similar to that in that Like, how do we all just universally know that?
I think what we're doing though, I think now the problem is that we're so embroiled in the internet that we've forgotten that information did used to be able to travel, right? Like
yeah, I mean,
there
I know.
still were
it's not like
national
pigeon
trends.
carriers,
There were still like kind of urban myths that everybody was maybe cognizant of.
but that wasn't something you were going to read in like Us Weekly or
I just think
like,
it's funny how it
yeah,
traveled.
true.
Yeah.
Junior high playgrounds, I guess is how.
This is why you can't give OTB a story like this. We're not going to talk about the story. We're going to talk about the other thing. That's why we are who we are.
Well, Marilyn Manson, we all know allegedly why he got his ribs removed. Sam Hartman did not get them removed.
That's disappointing.
For the same reason. But apparently he got this rib taken out, and this is a quote he gave. Quote, "The rib is in my fridge. It's well on its way to becoming a necklace. We're a couple of weeks out. Just want to make sure it stays in one piece until then." Big, pretty power move to show up with your rib on a chain for game day. Tough. It's a tough quarterback right there, Bo.
It's not a world or something that I know. That's for sure. I've never seen it before. I'd love to get Josh's take on that. I don't know if he has a piece of his.
That feels
rib.
very Pate State.
Yeah.
That feels very Pate State. We'll get him here.
I feel
in a
like
second.
it's on the borderline though. Like it's like
Josh
Pate
Pate.
State / maybe a little too much.
Late kick. I don't think it's going to be too much. What do you think, Josh? We're talking about Sam Hartman, unlike Marilyn Manson, having a ridge removed. It ends up that Marilyn Manson, that was all alleged. But turning that rib now into a necklace. And one that I would imagine he would wear on game day, right? Like, you don't do that unless you're going to walk into the stadium with your rib on. Oh, wait, let me turn you up. There you go.
Yeah, you're going to want to hear this. So you're telling me, like, I was walking right out of Kiffin's press conference. I sat down here. This is randomized. And this is the conversation that you were in the middle of?
Yes. You think anybody else here is having that one? About Marilyn Manson and Sam Hartman?
It's beautiful. I mean, it's authentic. It's real. It's what everyone should be talking about, quite frankly, although no one else is qualified.
I agree.
That's right. That's fair.
Here's what I wanted to know. Obviously, yes, it's going to be worn. What I wanted to know is, can you fashion a rib bone? Because it's pretty much the way God made it is the way it's stuck. But if you can heat it up, if you put it in a pot of boiling water and it can bend a little bit, you can get a nice toe ring.
A toe ring?
A toe ring.
Out of a rib? But aren't ribs big?
Well,
I'm saying, like, how are we gonna make that work?
When the poachers, and I don't endorse this activity, but when the poachers go after
hell of a way to start a sentence with the poachers. My poaching experience.
Based on what I know about the poaching community. When they take the elephant tusks, the ivory from it, they don't just take the tusk. They shave that thing down, and they get all kind of different things out of the tusk. And I would imagine if we're just going to go there, let's go there.
Right.
I'm going to use a human rib as effectively and economically as I can.
Yeah. So not only a necklace, but also a toe ring.
Yeah, well, if you have leftover rib, I'm down to make extra jewelry. I mean, I don't know. I would maybe just. I mean, if you can shape it, I didn't even think about that. Maybe I was thinking of the rib on a chain, but maybe the rib just becomes the necklace. Just like a little clasp in the back. Then you can put some diamonds in it or something. I don't know.
These are the moments I miss Coach Leach the most.
Sure.
Yeah,
he would love this conversation.
He would have known. He would have. Josh, what's up, man? What's been your biggest takeaways from Media Day so far?
Again, this is fresh in my mind. So I just listened to Lane Kiffin on the big stage.
Did we get any zingers? We're always stuck in here for these opening press conferences.
Someone asked him to rank the boosters in the SEC.
Oh, wow.
And in the most crushingly disappointing moment of the week, he declined.
Damn.
That would have been good. And then followed up by saying, I wish I could. I think it's not just endemic to him. Anytime I've gone in that big room this week, it's hardly any football questions. Everyone wants to talk about NIL. Everyone wants to talk about where's the sport headed.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
I hate it.
Yeah, especially because, like, it is what it is. Like, even when Lane Kiffin says stuff about, like, salary cap, it sounds good on the surface, but you can't cap advertising.
Right.
You know, like, salary cap would work if it's the money coming from the school. So it's like, here's the deal. I reread the Justice Kavanaugh letter a couple weeks back, and what that really shows you is the problem is we had accepted a system that should have been illegal for about 100 years, right? Now that no longer exists, and we feel all kind of friction because of it, but this is actually arguably how it always should have been. in terms of players being able to, and who cares? We're about to be football season, dude. I don't care how a player got there. I'm just excited to wait to watch great players go out there and play.
This is a really important point, and I want you to have credit for making the point. So I always go like this. When people ask, oh, is this ruining the sport? Is this ruining your enjoyment of the sport? I ask them, picture Alabama versus LSU. It's early November. Both of them are coming off a bye, 2 weeks build up, and it's late in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And Alabama just turned the ball over, and LSU is like 4th and 1 on Bama's 28-yard line. Brian Kelly's decided to go for it. Play clock 8, 7, 6. Stadium's at full throat. Hit the pause button. Does anyone care about NIL at that moment?
No.
Does anyone care where the players came
person.
from? And so as long as you have that,
that's a great point.
Then I don't think you've ruined the sport. You may make it different, and it may lead to different conversations this time of year, but college football is still college football.
Well, until the Alabama transfer defender that got paid makes the stop, and then I immediately start yelling, "Damn it, NIL! The system's broken. They're buying players."
Bagman got us again.
Exactly.
I know, but I hate.
But that's always been the excuse. I mean, right? We've been blaming Bagman for decades. Nothing's really changed.
I mean, these media days I felt like used to be about football, though. Not only here in the SEC, but like Pac-12 media day. I hate because Pac-12 is going to have some damn good football with really good quarterbacks, really good teams, and they only have a day-long media day, which I don't know how in the world that's even possible. But no football will be discussed. It's all going to be media rights, every portion of that media day. And so you don't talk about football.
But the deal's coming soon, okay? The deal's coming soon.
No, the CW, it's already been taken by the ACC. They like Dawson's Creek more than the Pac-12 did.
Damn.
Let me ask you something. If a Pac-12 football game happens in the woods and no one sees it, did the Pac-12 football game really happen?
Dude,
some of the
last
Pac-12
year,
network games
look,
last year,
Josh, I know you wanted to watch Oregon State and USC like we all did.
Yeah.
I
actually wanted to watch it.
I did too.
Sounds like the beginning of a joke, and people like us actually want to watch it.
You couldn't find Pac-12 Network.
I think it
offers
on
like
legal
6
streaming site.
I did too.
Yes, it's like Swiss boxing.
Yeah, the FBI is going to come after me because I'm trying to watch Omar Spates in Oregon State.
I'm pretty sure I got a virus. Like my computer was actually never the same after having to watch that game.
Imagine being in like 1997 and you're at your buddy's house because they know how to climb the pole and illegally pirate a WWF pay-per-view.
We all been there.
And imagine telling yourself 25 or 30 years later, this is how you're going to access college football.
Josh, so right now Oklahoma fans are very upset with me because I said, look at what happened to Oklahoma when Lincoln Riley left. Look at what happened to USC when Lincoln Riley got there. They never would have thought they'd get a top 5 guy poached. And I said, look, and Brent Venables always talking about taking over a bad culture, but like, I mean, the culture was Big 12 championships, Heisman's, playoff appearances. But in my mentions right now, I'm getting lambasted with, no, Lincoln Riley's culture was crap. It was awful. It was on the decline. How do you view what's going on in Oklahoma right now?
The culture wasn't crap. The way I know that is if you would have polled those same fans 6 months earlier, they would have 98% endorsed their culture. It's like it's like with the Bama coordinator hires. I'm dealing with Alabama fans coming at me about not doubting their coordinators, just kind of asking, how good are these guys?
Right.
Yeah.
And my not evidence, but my supporting argument is, if I asked you guys, Terry from Tuscumbia, Andy from Andalusia, if I asked you your opinion of Kevin Steele last October, Tommy Rees last October, you would have called him trash.
No doubt about it.
So it's the same way with Oklahoma, inverted. Hey, what do you think about your culture? Two Septembers ago, no, we got it going on, man. We win double-digit games every year. It's like we hit the start button on 10 wins. We hit the start button on, we got a Heisman caliber quarterback. We got a playoff contender, and then we'll see if we can get it done. Now all of a sudden it was trash. And 6 and 7 is really the way to go.
And I get it, man. A spurned lover, like that brain will do whatever it needs to do to rationalize and to try and feel better. So I'm sorry, Oklahoma. Look, I just want what's best for you, and I think you might have missed on Venables. We'll see, dude.
Josh, I want to ask you about A&M and the coordinator situation because, like, everybody's more intrigued with Jimbo and maybe Bobby Petrino fighting on the sidelines than they are the actual football of it. But when you, like, look at Bobby Petrino coming in, last year at Missouri State, they were 65th in total offense, and nobody's talking about that. They just assume, oh, yeah, Lamar Jackson, that was fun. Oh, yeah, that one game against Arkansas, a game that probably meant something to Bobby Petrino, and Arkansas was horrid in defense and certainly pass defense last year. I mean, and everybody's like, okay, well, are they going to fight? Why are we not talking about them not really being good last year at Missouri State. And you can say, yeah, he had FCS players. He's going against FCS players. Like, a lot of people just assume that's going to work because of what he's done, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
So I think if you took the average person who thinks that and you sat him in this chair, I'm not asking you to do this with me, certainly don't, but if you sat him down in this chair and said, what's your opinion? They said, it's going to work because Petrino's there. Ask them to describe Bobby Petrino's offense.
Yeah.
Just surface-based question.
Right.
Like, what does he run?
Yeah.
They couldn't answer that.
Right.
I mean, you know that. It's
the spread.
They run the spread, man. He really likes to run the ball effectively and push the ball downfield, as opposed to every other offensive coordinator. Right. Listen, people, it's memory framework. That's the way it works. It doesn't matter how badly Bama's secondary got torched against Tennessee last year. You have it in your mind, a Nick Saban coach secondary, blah, blah, blah. You have it in your mind, a Bobby Petrino coach offense, blah, blah, blah. Right. Just because if it's ever happened in the past, then that's what I remember. That's the long and short of that. There's not any deep thinking going on on this subject.
I still think of the Seahawks as the Legion of Boom.
Exactly.
And they've been the case. Josh Pate, late kick Josh, thank you so much, man. Thank you for calling me hot in the bathroom as well. I needed a little boost of confidence on the way out.
That got him through the rest of the show.
So you have shared that private moment already.
Yes. I made sure to right away. Josh Pate, the legend, go subscribe to Late Kick today. We'll be back with more OTB coming up next.
OTB, OT, OTB, OT.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org. Man, look, they're the absolute best. They've been at it for 50 years, y'all. How do you make it 50 years in the game? It's because your customers are satisfied. It's not just residential, commercial. You got a business, an office building. You need all of your plumbing needs met. Maybe you want to do a bathroom remodel, tankless water heater, whatever the case may be. Go to the place. It's licensed, bond insured, flat rate pricing, excellent warranty, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, when you go to the website, you'll see exactly what T-Bob is talking about. It's not only in emergencies. If you're looking to upgrade, and that's upgrading at your home or your business. So at the house, right, you got a bathroom, you want a new shower, a new tile, new vanity, whatever it might be, they can handle it. If it's at your workplace, your business that you own, you want a new restroom, they can certainly come in. Doesn't matter how many you have in your business, big, small, everywhere in between. They can certainly handle that over at Central Plumbing. So give them a call today, 225-925-8552, and always online at centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Our final day from Radio Row, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Tennessee take the big stage. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Shout out our guy, Josh Pate, coming in. Remember, all the coverage this week brought to you by Hudco Roofing, and also a huge thank you to Rev Business and Relief Windows for sending us out here as well. All the coverage we had youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Also, as always, we want to thank a few of our sponsors. Agatemp of Baton Rouge, AgaTempBR.com for your AC, heat, and electrical needs. Go to the place where, well, it's, look, they take, what do they say? It's service to the highest degree, and you get that when you work with Agatemp. And never forget about DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you want to gamble, you want to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you had $5. Right now you get $150 in free bets. And then if you're a return customer, you can always get more of them same-game parlays.
1 minute. International friendlies started back.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Gambling on soccer friendlies. There
Yes,
you go.
Sir.
You
yes, sir.
Download DraftKings, promo code Baton Rouge, $5, $150 in free bets. And then Ask the Bench, all this brought to you by Cold Curse Life, Visit Our Children, Blue Moon, Lat Sky, Citrus Wheat. It's been a very fun week here. We are signing off. Excellent job, Rivs, doing all the on-site production here all week. Great job by Mario and Taylor holding it down back home. Jake pulling double duty, a little serious. Matt will have a great show coming up here this afternoon as he got to sit down with a ton of people throughout the week. But we thank you all for hanging out with us here in Nashville at SEC Media Days. And we'll be back in studio tomorrow in Baton Rouge. And I look forward to seeing you there.
OTB, OT.
All right, I do want to remind you to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, where you will see the difference right away. Like right when you look at the building, man. The facilities at Patient Plus are second to none. It's one of the many ways in which they separate themselves from the competition. In fact, those facilities are kind of representative of the investment that they put in, right, to the business. Top of the line, everything. Top line tech, top line equipment, top line doctors, top line nurses. And you know who reaps the benefit of that investment? You do. So, walk-ins always welcome for life's unexpected moments. Get in and get better at Patient Plus Urgent Care.
Go to the website and you can schedule that appointment right there online, and you can always walk in like T-Bob just mentioned. I mean, whatever convenience there is, they're going to have it over at Patient Plus. And so when that unexpected moment does happen, remember, there is a location near you in the Baton Rouge area that is going to be highly convenient for you. PatientPlusUC.com. Get in and get better.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect